So when you said
You're up.
when you just said service and you don't sell, so if somebody wants a new furnace, you can't do the new furnace?
No, we can do that. We just don't have a retail store.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Ted, I mean, just don't get the wrong idea, bro, Dan.
Right.
Yeah, they're full service.
Yeah, full service. With you guys, we're a plumb line up north. How's that?
Yeah, I know.
We know plumb line
And
really
we are
well.
so happy to have that. We have so many calls for you guys.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's awesome.
I mean, we will basically refer everyone to you right now, because right now I think they're exclusive, aren't they? Just by default? Yeah.
Perfect.
And that's Ty, Tom.
What's that, sir?
Ty.
Hi. Yeah, I'll get to talk.
No, you're all good.
You know, as soon as I get all this crap out of the way.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Ted.
I just have to, just kind of get my stuff here.
So like right now we're on YouTube and Facebook, and also in the commercials we go to YouTube and Facebook, so we're on all the time, so you don't have to watch your languages closely.
We don't swear, so
Okay,
shouldn't be a
that's
big
good,
deal.
that's good.
We never do either.
You guys are going to have trouble hearing what's on the air. It's going to sound discombobulated to you. Because only headsets will hear what's on the air.
We have another headset. Do we need to sort of plug it in?
I think I could get one more to plug in.
So the alternative would be sitting in there and listening. Suzanne, have you given thought to how these guys are going to hear
You got a
the show?
headset, I got another plug in here.
We usually only have, I know we usually only have one person on the, but
my only options are just to have them hear half and hear,
Or
or they
then-
can come in
yeah,
with me and
yeah,
then
they
hear
can-
everything
you
if
guys
they
can
want.
sit there at leisure, do
You
anything.
won't be able to
Or
hear
you, but I
calls.
don't mind
Big or
you,
little.
guys, I don't mind you
Welcome to
being here.
sit.
It's just I think you're going to only hear one side of the conversation. Well, I know you're only hear one side. Now, if you needed them for any
You want to
reason,
pull that chair
No.
too?
they
So
can
I
always hop
got one
on.
more, one sitting
Nah,
on
it's easier
there.
for them. I was in there yesterday.
Don't let these guys push you around.
All right. I'm a big guy there.
I bet I outweigh you.
Clint, are these microphones both work? I mean, so you have.
I don't know if this works.
They work, yeah. So now just grab your microphone. So let's grab, where's that other mic? Oh, here it is. I think everything's working now, Clint. But always,
I know this one's the one that echoes over to you.
only when you're, yeah, you just keep it on and off and on and off. And such a bad will be fine. Echoey. Eric, everything cool with you?
Rock and roll.
How does Social Security, how do they know your adjusted gross income?
What you report on your tax return.
Okay. Why is it different though? And I'm happy it's different. It's less than my income. Why? What do they pull it from? They
Well,
pull it from-
it's 85% of your total. When you're over like 30 or 40,000 bucks of income, you get taxed on 85% of it. I mean,
not for my tax, but for my benefit. They assessed how much I have to pay for my benefits based on what my adjustment.
Oh yeah. As your income goes up, they pay you for that.
This is
Medicare.
just let you know, this is like,
I'm talking about like,
what's actually
your monthly
on
Medicare is
so
based,
see,
okay, but
when you talk,
the adjusted gross
and I
income
gotta get your
seems
banner
low.
going here. You know, I'll
Well,
put it
it's retroactive. They look back at the last year's tax return. They pop up your monthly amount.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. The only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life a little easier. So, I always have travel stories when I travel. Mark was filling in, and I just took a trip, got back, you know. Here's something that I found weird about ride sharing. Uber and Lyft, but especially Lyft, and it never happened to me before in other cities. By the way, I'm Tom Martino. This show is here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and making your life just a little easier. And this hour brought to you by Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan. By the way, if you need a loan, you call them, 303-867-7000. That's what we do here, help, information, and referrals. That means we solve problems. We also tell you who to avoid and then who to go to. And you might think, wow, is that a conflict? Sure it is. If you're bad, it's a conflict. If you're good, it's not a conflict. You're going to love it because we will recommend companies that we believe in. We have an important show today. We're talking taxes. Why would we talk taxes? Well, you know, for a lot of people, they're actually finishing up 17, but it's good to plan 18, and we'll be doing that with Eric Reinemer from Atlas CPAs and Advisors, and they're the ones we use, and they're our experts at referralist.com, atlascpas.com, and let's talk about though refinancing and all of that with loans. Ideal can get it done in 3 weeks or less. That's incredible. And if you do a pre-approval, it's exactly like a cash offer because it's not a qualification, it's an approval. They're saying you're ready to go. And all they need is an appraisal and title work.
Can you get that mic?
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, so if you go to Ideal Home Loans, idealhomeloans.com, you can start there or you can call them. And remember, the pre-approval is like a cash deal, so your offer goes to the top. It really does. And we have used them, and all of our experts have used them. Frank Duran, the real estate man, loves them, though it's 303-867-7000. And speaking of Frank Duran, so many people have written to us about frankduran, I can't even begin to tell you, but one guy told me his house was sold before they put it on the market because Frank was listing it, and Frank also had a buyer and made the connection before it went on. They never even listed it. 0 days on market. I don't think you do better than that. By the way, he does sell most of his own listings, and he's at 303-920-1622. So anything you need, I have at the tip of my tongue. You just heard me rattle off Ideal and Frank Duran, and of course we have our expert today, Eric Reinemer from Atlas CPAs, and we will talk about anything near and dear to your heart and pocketbook like Tim. Tim has a truck, and he said it was stolen. Uh-oh. What's going on with that, Tim?
Oh, excuse me. We stayed at a Hampton Inn where you park, stay, and go, and went on a trip for my father-in-law's 88th birthday.
Now, when you said park, stay, and go, what do you mean?
You park on Tower Road at the hotels there, and you can leave your vehicle there while you catch a flight. They let you do
that, or do you have to stay like the night before or something? What's the rule usually?
Yes, sir. We had to pay for our room on the Monday night.
Okay, I get it. And then they let you park there. I like that idea. Park, stay, and go. So what happened?
Well, we went on the trip, and we put some stuff in it on the next day when we were catching our shuttle to go to the airport, so we knew the truck was there. And when we got back on that following Sunday, the driver drove us around to where the truck was, and it was gone.
Oh, wow. That sucks. I mean, I imagine all of those park and stays or park and rides or spots and other I'm not trying to Wally Park or whatever. I'm not trying to single out any of them. I imagine they would be harder because they're gated, but I imagine any of those are good fodder for thieves. Or thieves. So I guess the long and short of it is, what are you calling about? You have insurance or not?
I only had liability insurance. Unfortunately.
Oh, man. So I still am a little confused, though. You contacted us. We called you back. We're not sure what you needed.
I just want to make the public aware that there is a problem.
Oh, my God, that's a good point. You know why? We assume, don't we, Tim? We assume we park somewhere, and we almost assume, admit it, that where we park has a bit of responsibility.
Yes, and we come to find out that the hotels that were adjacent to this hotel we were at all had security cameras and were aware of the problem with vehicles being stolen. But this hotel did not have any security cameras at all, and we weren't forewarned.
Do you think they should have warned you, really? Do you think that's the deal?
I think so. There's on their website, it says whether you're on your way to relax with the family or to important meetings, you can enjoy the value of peace of mind and focus on where you're going, not how to get there.
I wonder if they're creating a bailment. A bailment is where they take control, or they give you the illusion they're taking control. I guess I'm going to ask you straight up, and I won't argue with you. I mean, really, do you think there's any level of responsibility that they owe you anything?
I don't blame the hotel they did not steal my vehicle, but they did not give me any forewarning that there's a problem. I guess they had these things called the claw that you put on your steering wheel back behind the counter, and I found out later they had them, but it was never offered to me.
Okay.
And the hotel next door to them, when my wife went next door to see at the Ramada, if they had any security cameras on that hotel, they said, no, they're on our hotel, but that's a big problem. When we find out what kind of vehicle you have, we give you this claw to put on your steering wheel.
Okay,
and if I had known that it was a problem in that area, one, I wouldn't have driven the truck, and two, I would have pulled the battery cable or something.
All right. You know what, Tim? You bring up a good point. Let's go over it really quickly. If you're going to park remotely anywhere, know that you're responsible. Even if they take bailment, even if they take your keys and say, we're going to park your car and take care of it, yes, there is responsibility on their part, but you always need to be insured, because while you're arguing, it's going to help you. So I would never even consider leaving a car that's valuable without at least comp. And I think you can get comp or theft. That comes under comprehensive theft and fire and all that. I think you can get that. It's not that much compared to, let's say, collision coverage. But in any case, Tim, you bring up a good point. I don't think they'll have any responsibility to you, but it's good to know.
Hey, Tom, one of the things they had said, there was 14 cars stolen in the last 30 days out there.
Wait, at that hotel?
No, not the hotel, but in the area.
Okay, now this is different. This is weird. Maybe this is different. If there were 14 cars and everyone knows about that?
Right.
You know, Tim, I don't know, man. I would ask them for something. I would ask them for something. 303-713-8255. Jeff has a photo radar ticket. Jeff.
Hey there, Tom.
We talk about these ad nauseum, and
God, never ends.
Yeah, maybe so many people get them, and they can't quite remember what to do, and I have a very simple solution. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. City of Sheridan sent my wife a ticket, and it's very clear it's her car, and it's running a red light, except it would be me behind the wheel, not her.
Yeah.
And there's a space on the back where she's supposed to name who the driver is if it's not her.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to. But, okay, here's first and foremost, and I want to get this straight for everyone. I'm not telling you what to do when you get a ticket like this.
Sure.
I'm telling everyone what I do, okay? Now, it used to be that only a small percentage of those were pursued because so many people just settled. Now they're being a little more aggressive, and I think they have me on speed dial, because what I do is I ignore all of them until I get personally served, or in the municipalities where they changed the law, one of them, I don't know which one it is, but they changed it to certified mail, or registered mail, whatever they call it. And then you're allowed to use that if the municipality makes that legal service. But Denver has to be personal service, and so I don't know about the other municipalities, but the first thing I do is ignore until I get an official summons, whether that be in the municipalities that use certified or registered mail, or personal service. Once I get personal service, then I decide what to do. You can do it any way you want. Some people respond, "This is not me," and that's it. They just leave it at that. They send their license in and say, "This is not me." They can't make her tell anything. I mean, they can't. No one wants to prosecute these things. So, Jeff, it's up in the air. I don't know if anyone has ever gone through with that. Now, you can't lie under oath. If they say, is this your husband?
Yeah.
I mean, if they actually said that in a trial, in a court, she would have to say, she would have to lie. She would have to say, no, yes, or I don't know. And I don't know might be lying. Do you think there's a way to get around that, Mark? Do you think, what would you say to get around that?
Well, I don't know, but how do you know a cop wasn't there waving you through the red light because an ambulance was coming or a fire truck?
Or whatever. I'm just saying, Jeff, I don't know how Northglenn does, or excuse me, Sheridan does it, but I ignore them until I get a service. That's all I can tell you. That's all we do. But they can't make you do anything. Right now, it's an accusation. That's all it is, an accusation. Speaking of cars, Flexident of Colorado.com. If you go anywhere else and you have hail dings, I call you crazy, because there's no reason to mess up the finish of your car if it's not messed up, meaning paintless dent repair. If your paint is not damaged, not just with hail, but parking lot dings or any other way, if your car is not hurt, then use Flexident to get that metal back in place. There are no Carfax reported. No one will even know they've been there, period. It doesn't detract from the value of your car. And right now, for big jobs, not only do they have immediate openings, but they are offering $500 discounts. They can get done within hours, up to 3 days. It's up to you. You know, they can do a rush if you need it, or you never wait a long time. 303-619-6273. 619-6273. Flexident of Colorado.com.
That was because truck stolen was on Channel 7 News.
What guy is that?
The guy that was truck stolen?
The guy that we just talked to?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't mention a truck, I don't think, did he?
Yeah,
But,
that's
okay.
It was an F-250. He was on last night.
What was the whole deal? Who cares?
He was out at...
Well, you know, it's a pain in the ass.
He was out at Hampton Inn.
Yeah. Okay, all I want to say is, by the way, when I mention your name, it doesn't mean I'm going to talk to you right that minute. Don't ever turn on the mic unless we're talking, and then turn it off when we're done talking, okay? And then I'll come back. That would be great. Now, what do you think we're talking at this time? When it's concerned
So we stayed overnight
are there
there.
a lot of people
They
that
park
didn't
at their loud
necessarily
ass
get there?
car
A deadline coming up?
Yeah, a third of our, actually, there's some data on that. A third of our clients haven't showed up yet.
Okay, I'm going to talk about
stolen in that area.
Isn't that little area before you get to the airport?
It's on Tower Road. Tower Road, yes. Is that Tower Road?
Wow, they've had 14 cars. That was a small area.
Well, and I don't know how big areas that covers.
Was that a Power Stroke diesel?
It's a 350. I think
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, they're really bad stuff.
Yes, that's what he said.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I've talked to you a few times.
And that's what he said. What are the cops doing? But they said that. And then the cops told him they recover 7 out of 10 vehicles.
Yeah, where? Mexico?
Not those F-250s, they're going to Mexico.
Yeah. And that's what they were told.
Hey, good morning, Stacy. Hey, have you taken that car in Flexident yet?
Or trauma related to substance abuse, please know you're not alone. There's help. Call the Raleigh House today. They've established a special number to address.
I just got your banner.
Yeah, man.
So when you want to bring it up, I have his birthday
Is that
present up
everything
here.
look good?
His birthday present.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. That's correct.
I have the statements for you.
Cool.
And every time you were, I saw the letters SSN, I assumed you were talking about my father-in-law, not me. So I'm sorry to get back to you quicker. And then that last one's like, oh, he needs mine. Okay.
Eric, everything, LLCs are K1, right?
Yep.
Retirement accounts, regardless of what they are, if it's a SEP or if it's a 401k, if it's anything, is it still a K1? Sure. All right.
No, a lot of stuff, not unless the underlying asset is an LLC.
Like the Peoria.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if it's just like a mutual fund.
That's the only reason that had a K1 was because of that. That makes perfect sense. It had nothing to do with the retirement. It had to do with the entity.
The underlying holding. Yeah.
Got it.
I'm going to declare myself a non-taxpayer, and I'm going to take a hiatus.
You and Wesley Snipes.
And Snooki took a break also. He submitted his resignation 40 years ago.
Who did?
Snoopy, you don't want a Phoenix. He sent a letter to the IRS and told them wanted to cancel his subscription.
That's funny.
That's funny. That's good. That's
What's that guy? Who does Charlie Brown?
Charles Schultz.
So what do you think of the Nike sneaker?
I don't even think of that crap anymore. What do you think?
I just bought a whole bunch of them.
I was looking at buying Under Armour last night.
My wife literally burned her Nike socks.
It's down too. I might actually. It's under $19.
We were worried about it.
It's kind of funny. Nike.
I would. First of all, I'd never burn anything. I might give them away to the homeless or whatever. But people that are burning their Nikes are just as bizarre as Nike making the decision.
Yeah, I had us worried last night. She was making a campfire with her socks because she's kind of, who's that? My wife. Because she's still a little wonky in the head. We were wondering what she was doing.
A campfire with socks?
Yeah, she was at my daughter's house. Nike socks. I didn't know what was going on.
They got punished in the market, man. They lost what, $4 billion in a few hours.
That'll come back, right, Mark?
No, it's should be back on here today.
God, man, it's so new under the controversy. I don't even know what to make of it. It's so bizarre. I can't even. It's just fucking bizarre.
It was such a great email.
I didn't read it yet.
Oh, it's a good email.
Oh, I loved it. That was very good.
I know. I wanted you.
Is it about Kaepernick?
Yeah, how privileged he was. And,
I gotta read
and everything his life has done, and then he takes a knee for the oppression. I mean.
I didn't realize that. I thought he was oppressed growing up. No. You sure it's a real email? It's not some bullshit?
Well, no, you know he's adopted. Yeah, he's raised by a white couple.
I'm Tom Martino.
Your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. If you're in an auto accident, John Fuller Law is the guy to take care of you. In fact, here's what I say. Obviously, you take care of injuries. Sometimes there's not that many injuries, but if you get in an auto accident, please call for free consultations immediately. Why? Because so many people let grass grow, and they wait, and then they lose their rights. John Fuller has made himself available, part of being on the referral list, under personal injury. He said he will make himself available. Free consultations and questions by phone. You just call him. You've been in an accident. You've been injured. He can tell you in a heartbeat if you should pursue it or not. He can say, listen, don't worry about it. It doesn't sound like much to me. Then you know what you do? Instead of listening to friends and neighbors and brothers-in-law, you can just say, well, I'm going to call an attorney. John Fuller, Fuller Law, personalinjuryco.com is his website. Of course, he's on the referral list. His number is 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. That's John Fuller. Now, let's talk about this. We have a guest today, and we have Eric Reinemer, as we talked about, Atlas CPAs, and we will talk about some tax issues and deadlines coming up for 17, and also what to do right now to prepare for 18's filings. We also have up north. It's, you know, we love our people down here. We love Fix It 24/7. We love Plumline Services. We love all the big, wonderful providers we have on the referral list. And now we have one up north.
That goes to Fort Collins.
Well, in Fort Collins doesn't, right? You're in Fort Collins. That's your bailiwick, right?
Absolutely,
and
yes.
This is Ty Chadwick. And it's called Lighten Up Electric and Plumbing. You do plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains.
And drains, all included.
So we got our guy up north, Mark. We've been looking for people.
It took a while.
We got him. He even brought a protection with him, 2 of his plumbers. And their muscles. So listen, Ty, seriously. Do you know how frustrated we were, I think Ted told you, to get somebody up there? Because, Mark, what is this thing about up north right now? We are getting so many inquiries.
Well, what happened is we're running a ton of advertising up there on radio. So, of course, people are looking for people in Fort Collins. And the reason they are is thanks to Frank Duran, the real estate man.
Yeah.
That goes up there.
Yeah, he goes up there in a big way, and he includes us in his advertising as well. So, anyway, Ty, we'll be talking to you in a little while here. Lighten Up Electric and Plumbing, and they are out of Fort Collins. You serve. I want to know how far south you come, sir.
We go down to Longmont, Boulder, the Kono area.
Excellent. We needed this for so long. And then how far north?
Up to the Wyoming border.
Mark, we couldn't ask for anything better.
Covers everything we were missing.
We could not ask for anything better. Okay, so Brian has a problem, which is this is like a shocking, honest to God, with Sheridan Auto Tech. And by the way, as you see, Sheridan Auto Tech's on a referral list. We never by the way, silence people when they have issues with any of our referral list members, because we know that they do the right thing, and if they don't last. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, listen, first I want to say that Mark and Suzanne have been trying to help me in the background, and they're great people, and they've been doing a great job, but I'm getting nowhere with Sheridan Auto Tech.
Why don't you tell me what the problem is? Because, Brian, I'll just say right on the onset, I mean, obviously I'm going to be totally objective here, but, man, we just don't get problems with them, so it just sounds odd. I don't even know what it is, so what's going on?
Oh, well, first I've had my car and my wife's car in there 4 or 5 different times, and they've been great every single time.
Okay.
This time has been so
Well, just tell me about this time. What happened?
I took my car in because it failed emissions, and they had it for 3 months, and Pro Auto Care said that they could have fixed it in 1 day.
Okay. Well, that's the first issue right there. So no matter what they did, you're upset that it was 3 months.
Yes.
Okay, now, if you could be so kind, rather than let things pile up, what I would love to do is take little issues at a time. So Kevin Calkin is with Sheridan Auto Tech. And like I said, I love Kevin, and we get rave reviews. But Kevin, the guy says 3 months, and it could have been fixed in a day. I don't know what it is, Kevin. We're just asking straight up. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, we did a catalytic converter for him.
And why did it take? Why did you have the car?
Better judgment. We did it the way he wanted, not the way we should have done it.
But why did it take?
The latest.
Why did it take 3 months?
Well, it shouldn't. We had trouble getting the monitors to set, and as far as I know, they're still not set.
Wow.
And it just piled up issues, and Brian was just, don't worry about it. Take 2 weeks, take a month, it doesn't matter. And then he'd call 2 days later complaining. So it just.
Okay, but
we were asking him to, he wanted to take it somewhere else, and we said, please do.
Okay, now this is Brian's call, so I want him to continue, but I just want one quick thing, if you could. You said that you did it the way he wanted, against your better judgment, not the way you wanted. Just that part, what does that mean?
Well, the catalytic, there's 2 ways of doing it. You can get a generic cat and weld it in, or you can get the bolt-in cats, which is the preferred way. And
he
Brian didn't want to spend the money to do the preferred way, so we did the cheaper way.
What's the difference between the recommended way and the cheaper way?
Dollar-wise, probably about $300-400.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Yeah. And in the end, we ended up doing it the preferred way and not charging Brian for it.
Okay, so now let him finish his story, though, and then you can listen if you don't mind. Here, I'd love to bring him. Okay, hold on. Okay, so Brian, you went in for a catalytic converter. It failed emissions, and what went wrong? Tell me from your perspective. What's going on?
Okay, first of all, it wasn't my idea. The guy behind the counter, I told him, I said, what's the cheapest way? And I didn't say that I wanted them to do
Well, okay, but you said the cheapest way, so okay. Yeah. All right, so that is kind of what Kevin said. So what happened then?
All right, they welded in half a catalytic converter. There's 2 on one side instead of, like he said, put the whole unit in and bolt it in. It broke the next day, the weld. So then I brought it back in. It was there for 4 or 5 days, broke again. Brought it back, broke again.
Yeah.
They put a clamp on it. I took it to...
Yeah, that's weird, yep.
Yeah, I took it to emissions. It broke while it was on
Now, is this after the 3 months, or is this what you're counting?
No, this is the first 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay, so this is what you're... Okay, so it all cumulatively went on for 3 months is what you're saying.
Yes, and then I would say, I have another vehicle, I'm renting another vehicle. I said, if you need to keep it for a couple of weeks or whatever,
you said, basically, just get it done, man, no matter what it takes. And what happened?
But then like a week or 2 weeks turned into a month, so yeah, I was getting upset, and they would always tell me, I'd call up and they'd say, we're taking it for test drives, we're doing this, we're doing that. I was right across the street in the parking lot.
Okay, so...
Okay? And my car was sitting in the back. Nobody was taking it for a test drive. So now I'm starting to get frustrated. Okay. So anyways, they fixed the catalytic converter.
Okay.
Then the guy says, now we have to put in some oxygen sensors, and it'll pass because the computer would not accept the catalytic converter without the oxygen sensors. So I said, how long is that going to take? He said, a couple of days, maybe a week. 5 weeks later, I say, I've had enough. I drive by every day. My car's in the back. My car's in the back in the same spot, never moving.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're trying to cheat me or nothing, but they just put me on the back burner.
Right.
Okay. That's
so Brian, I'm glad that you threw in the part. Obviously, they're not trying to cheat you. And
no, they're good guys.
Yeah, but I know. But listen, everyone, every once in a while they get one of these. So I mean, it is, and so I just need to know, like, and what is the end result right now?
Okay, the end result is I brought it to Pro Auto Care. Well, they towed it over to Pro Auto Care.
Yeah.
Okay, Pro Auto Care looked at it. He said I could fix it in 1 day.
Okay.
So anyways, it sat there for 5 weeks. What he could have done in 1 day.
Okay. So, well, did they fix it?
No, I'm waiting on it. I have to give them the okay. But here's the part that really got me upset. They said, and I have witnesses because I was on the phone.
Just go ahead.
I had 2 people listening to me.
Yeah, this is not a court.
They said that they were going to put oxygen sensors in, and they said that the reason it was taking so long, and Kevin even said it one time, maybe he's misinformed by his crew, they said that they have to keep driving it every day for the sensors to set, I took the Pro Auto Care, and Pro Auto Care says no sensors were put in. None. So then I called Sheridan Auto Tech back, and the guy said, oh, we weren't going to put oxygen sensors in. So I asked him, I said, well, if you weren't going to put oxygen sensors in, why does it take 5 weeks? You told me the catalytic converter was fixed 5 weeks ago. What has my car been doing there for 5 weeks? And that's my main complaint.
Okay.
The guy lied to me on the phone, and they kept my car for 5 weeks and did absolutely nothing.
If you had to sum it up, it was frustrating.
Yeah,
all get out. Okay.
I feel like they lied to me.
Well, okay, the lying part, you know, I've never known them to lie, but I don't know each and every person there. I know Kevin. So, okay, hold on. Just hold on. Okay. I mean, I get it, man. I get it. And I see why you're frustrated. I can see it. By the way, don't let us sit. You ought to let, give the go-ahead for Pro Auto Care. But I need to know right now, Brian, how much have you paid in total right now to date?
Probably $1,000.
So far. And that $1,000 was for what?
That was for the catalytic converter, the original one that they were going to do, the cheaper one. Spark plugs and an oil change.
Okay, now you got the spark plugs and the oil change?
Yes.
Okay, so outstanding. You don't have the cat, or you do right now?
I do have a cat, and I appreciate that they upgraded me and didn't charge me.
Okay, so they upgraded you. They upgraded you, Brian. They upgraded you to the
bolt-on,
the OEM, right?
Yeah, the bolt-on one.
Okay, the bolt-on without the welds. And next question. You said they didn't charge you. You mean the extra charge for that?
Right.
Okay. So
because they had my car for so
I understand.
long, and I had to keep bringing it in and renting a car every time the weld broke.
So that is
fair.
I understand that. Okay. Okay. So that's fair. Now what else? Now they never did do the oxygen sensors, right?
No, and they had my car for 5 weeks. I've been renting a car. They're costing me money.
All right.
I missed a few days of work.
So here's what we're going to do. I need to figure out what he wants, and I know he wanted, and I know he was trying to put us to the test because we were working behind the scenes. By the way, we work behind the scenes with all problems, not just referral lists, and I know that he probably wanted to know that we're for real, and that's a good thing. So let's just see what he wants and how Kevin basically responds to this, and that'll be it. But I got to tell you that Sheridan Auto Tech, we have friends and family that go there, and I don't want them to be defined by one problem. Now, if we had several, that would be different. But I do want to know, how it all broke apart, and it's a lesson for all of us. All right, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have our good friends from the Fort Collins area doing plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, and we have our people down here. We have Fix It 24/7, and right now they have a wonderful deal, and that is $39 for a licensed plumber, electrician, or a technician, HVAC, or drain, or anyone to find a problem. It's $39 for a full, complete diagnosis, no matter how long it takes. Sometimes, with electrical problems, it's the hunting and the finding that costs the money, not the part. That's why they're going to guarantee to find any problem for $39. Now, if you decide to have work done, all well and good. They'll give you a discount. They'll waive the $39, plus they will take $77 off the whole repair. If you don't have the work done, you'll never pay more than $39, and you'll get a full, complete written report if you want to shop around. It's a great deal from a great company. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939, 720-526-3939.
I always wondered if you track stocks and stuff while you're in here.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a game in here, isn't it?
Track 8 a.m.
Yeah, we were no.
Look at
Their old welds kept breaking.
I asked Kevin that. I don't know how they kept breaking. I would have never in a million years on an old Mercedes ML320 fucking weld a cat on there. I would never let my guys do it.
That's an old one?
It's pretty old. It's not super old, but if it needs a cat, it's got probably over 100,000 miles in 15 years.
Late 90s or early 2000s.
Probably like a 2000 something.
Yeah, ML320. Yeah, that's what my granddaughter said.
But they weld on mufflers. Why is it just too heavy?
Because it's a big, heavy unit, man.
Like, don't they still
And there's multiple ones. Picture all these tailpipes going. And then there's a cat here and maybe a cat here. So you're cutting the tailpipes and then welding in these other cats. But you're welding into shit that's 100,000 miles and with whatever. If there's any rust there, you can't weld rust very good.
The V6 has got them going down both sides, too. So.
It's just, they shouldn't have, Kevin said it right off the bat, they shouldn't have did it. They shouldn't have done it. But the guy walked in and said, I want the cheapest thing. Here's what this guy wants. He wants them to pay the entire bill or whatever over at Alaramas. He wants them to pay for O2 sensors, a diagnostic.
Well, I will tell you this. They do owe him something. They do.
They gave him the upgrade.
Yeah, that's $300.
Well,
I mean, he rented a car, and really, they were telling him all this time they were doing something.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you because I wasn't there.
Well, we can have the discussion, but
I don't know.
Are you talking about Pro Auto?
Yeah.
Or Sheridan? And
What I'd like to know.
He calls, he says, I just want my vehicle over at Pro Auto. I told Kevin says, I will even pay for it. I can send it over.
Did he say he paid for Pro
He did pay.
He paid
No,
for
he
the
said he
tow.
would pay for the tow.
Okay, that's...
My only beef is the guy wants
That's
to
not to be
complain about
considered.
something he didn't even pay for. If he paid for
He
something,
did pay for it.
not for the oxygen sensor things,
He paid for the cat.
and he got the cat.
Okay, but after 5 weeks, come
I
on.
get it.
Suzanne, I'd be upset.
No, and that's why he called her several times, and now he's on. But now it's over.
But what did
for
Kevin say? Why did it take so goddamn long?
It was some sort of, I don't even know, because the weld kept coming undone. The guy wanted it weld, and the weld kept breaking, Tom. Does that make sense, Mark?
What's the guy's name?
Brian. Mark, does that make sense? The weld kept breaking on the cat.
Yeah.
It kept breaking, and that's what took so long.
After one time, they should have.
Come on, he should have said,
This is what
you know what,
took so
man,
long.
let's just
Yeah,
do
but
it
then
right.
they were already,
Then
I know where
he
he's
would
coming
tell-
from.
he would tell
The guy
Kevin,
wanted the cheapest
"No."
fix there was.
That's
And
right.
then he didn't. And then he just
But
wanted
at that
his
point,
car.
they already welded this cat on, so
And
now
then
they're eating the cat.
So you saw it off and you get a new one.
Hey, Chris, Mark Major with the Martino Show. Hey,
It's
you
a
guys
very
got an
simple problem. I love
ML320 over
Kevin,
there.
but he fucked it up. He fucked it up. I mean, come on.
Something with the cat.
Just so you know,
I don't know
Tom,
if
this guy
it's
would call,
fair.
and I would say, Kevin, this guy is
What is the deal with
calling
that
us
thing?
saying
I-
it's
I've
an issue.
got an
Then
issue
Kevin
with
would
another
call him, and
girl.
he would say,
You
oh
know
no,
what
everything's
he's
fine, I
wrong
can
with
wait a
it.
little bit.
What do you
Then
know
2
about
weeks
it?
later, I get another call from
But
him.
it's still fucked up.
Right.
I can see him if it happened to him. I know goddamn well. We would say, come on, 5 months.
Not 5 months, 5 weeks.
Was it possible? No, was it 5 weeks?
5 weeks, not 5 months.
You're saying rush the will.
Mark, 5 weeks,
Hold on,
right?
just wait one sec. Just wait.
I was in this business. I don't know how long it was. It was a long time.
You can just grab a fire from there. Don't even
3 months.
begin to think about it.
When you do something like that, you own it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. See, that's exactly right.
It's everything that happens after that.
Go ahead.
Yep, Thomas said that over and over again.
Nothing should come between you and your money. So we're introducing zero account fees.
So they should have said, hey, you know.
Was there a disclaimer on there to say, hey, this might not work because you got $100,000 on your...
Here's where Kevin screwed up. He should have never done it in the first place. That I could never argue with. I've learned that lesson 100 times.
No
Or after one well
Well, I've been
crack,
there.
say, hey,
Every
ain't
time
gonna
I try to
hold.
save somebody money,
Yeah. No, forget about that stuff. Yeah.
Fidelity Broker Services, member NYSE, SIPC.
Yeah.
Adele, we know running a small business.
Gonna have a screaming deal today?
As a thank you.
I don't know, I haven't thought about that.
Okay. I always like to say that, you know, as you're on here and stuff, Tom will probably ask you at the end of the show, so.
Call 877-BUY-DEL to speak with a small business
Do
technology
you,
advisor today.
like,
I need drain calls.
Special
So we do a drain special, $39 drain special with the free camera.
did you hear that, Tom?
No, but I will. What is it? What is
He's
it?
got
$39 drain special with a free camera. Free camera
So
inspection.
what does that mean though, 39? What is 39?
All right, thanks,
to pop any line open and get it clear, and then get a free camera inspection after that.
You good down here?
I got a plumber with me.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Eric Reinemers, Atlas CPA is with us, as well as all of your problems, questions, complaints. We have this thing with Sheridan Auto Tech, and basically, I don't want to blow this out of proportion. I will say this, okay, if it was me, I'd be upset, and it just sounds like it was screwed up royally. But here's the deal, and I'm not exaggerating. We don't get complaints about Sheridan Auto Tech. They're just great guys. But, you know, so every once in a while you get a complaint, and I hate that it happened, but it did, you know, and I can't just hide my head in the sand. I think the whole thing, now it wasn't like the car sat there for 3 months, but the whole thing dragged on for 3 months, on and off. And it did sit there for long periods of time, and Mark and Suzanne did try to help him through the process. And here's the deal, okay? Let me sum it up. He wanted the cheapest way possible. I don't blame him. And then they did. They welded it on, and it kept breaking. You know, at some point you got to give up and say, okay, let's just put it on. And they did eventually. So he did get the upgrade, the OEM, as opposed to the welded on. And, you know, that was like a $300 savings for him, but it was only after a bunch of frustration. So really, he's not saying they did anything intentionally wrong or anything. He doesn't like the idea that he was told some of the delay was for test driving and all of that, when he says he knows it wasn't. Now, Kevin, again, we talk about this all the time. Whether we solve a problem or not, feelings remain, feelings linger. So I just want to get it over with, and I do appreciate you doing this, Kevin. And really, as I said, it's literally one problem I've heard in years. But here's the deal. What happened, man? Why would your tech keep saying he was test driving it?
Well, they were. They were trying to get the monitors to set, and the only way to get monitors to set on the computer is to go through a 5-minute drive under certain conditions. There's no other way to do it.
And it wouldn't set?
It was setting, it wouldn't set, and then the battery died on us overnight.
And did people say...
we had to start over, and it was a mess. It was. And
did people tell him he needed sensors?
Time for us.
Were there any lies?
I was in constant contact with Brian.
Were there any lies?
That I don't know, Tom, I'll be honest. I mean, the parking lot, if we happen to, not move the car one day and the next, I wasn't keeping that much track of it.
Okay. So anyway, at this point, what do you think? I mean, if you have a customer, he got what he paid for. In fact, he saved $300.
He got more than he paid for, yeah.
Okay, all right. But it was after frustration. You see, that's the thing. I understand. From the pure mathematical sense, he's not hurt at all. Okay, so that's the pure mathematical sense. But Brian, and Brian, I don't think you could even judge the entire company. I mean, if somebody said, hey, I'm going to Sheridan Auto Tech, I mean, are you going to go out of your way for this one problem? I mean, what's the deal here? How do you feel about this? What do you want?
I've had my vehicles in there. My wife's had her vehicle in there. These guys have been great every time.
Okay.
And they're really nice guys and everything.
So the main reason for this call is frustration.
Yes, and just the original part with the muffler, I understand all that. Okay, they were trying to help me out. It turned into a nightmare. They made it right, which I think upgrading was fair on both sides.
Okay, so is there anything else?
5 weeks, telling them that they're trying to set monitors and this and that.
Well, I believe him if he says that. Well, I mean, he's not going to lie about it.
Because you know why? Because they don't know how to set the monitors. I called Pro Auto Care, and Pro Auto Care said, we can do it in 45 minutes. We have the right machines.
All right. Well, Kevin,
I kept telling them that I wanted to
listen. They set the monitors for you.
Have they done it? Go ahead, Suzanne.
So, Brian, you originally called saying
sensors have to be put in. The oxygen sensors have to be put in before the monitors will set, and they told me that that's what they were doing.
Okay, hold on.
So, Brian?
Yeah, go ahead.
When you called me a few minutes ago, you said, I'm not getting anywhere, I want to talk to Tom.
Right.
What do you mean by you're not getting anywhere with what?
With what?
Well, Mark said that he was going to call Sheridan and see if there was anything that they felt they owed me for the last 5 weeks of inconvenience of not having a car and not doing.
I mean, that's really what it comes. That's really what it comes down to. You're not satisfied with getting that upgrade, which is about a $300 savings. You think? I mean, let's just boil it all right down. Yeah. You think they owe you something?
I spent over $1,000 on a rental car, and every time I take my car in there, I miss a day's work. And then I take it to emissions, and it breaks while it's on the emissions machine. I mean, I think they owe me something. If you don't think they do, that's fine.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. First of all, here's what I think. I think businesses, whether, and I want to make this clear, this is not about Kevin, this is about businesses. Businesses in general have a stream along a transaction. The longer they get into the stream, the more difficult it is to make it right if things go wrong. The sooner you get and interrupt that stream, that flow, with a solution, and you should never, ever make the consumer ask for it. You should always offer it, even if they offered something that seemed petty. Brian would feel, you know what, at least they're offering. So I might have said, you know, Brian, this whole thing has been taking a long time. I'm sorry for the screw-ups or whatever. It's taking longer than you expected. In addition to this upgrade, you know, how about, and I'm not saying this case, but how about oil changes, or how about this, or how about that, or something. Brian could have said, you know what, I appreciate it, but I think you owe me more. Or he could have said, forget it, don't worry about it. But what I'm saying is, I think the problem here is that it went on long enough for him to have to ask. People don't like to have to ask for things, and the more they have to ask, it gets uncomfortable and it's weird. It has nothing to do with the quality of business, with ethics. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with feelings. And I say this all the time. It's all about feelings. So, Kevin, you know, I'm not going to put you on the spot right now. I got to take another break. Here's what I want to do. Suzanne, I'm going to talk to these guys off the air. I want to know what can be worked out, if anything, or if Kevin, honest to God, feels, I owe this man nothing. He got what he did.
Kevin paid for the tow.
Let's ask the listeners.
Okay, he paid for the tow over the Pro Auto,
saying like he paid for the tow is like saying, I set your house on fire and I'm going to pay to have the guys, you know, the fire truck come. No. Paying for the tow to get it out of there shouldn't even be considered. Okay, the upgrade, I think, is a good thing. And again, I'm not casting fire on Sheridan. I love them. I can recommend them right now to anyone. 303-455-7242. I mean that sincerely. I can recommend them for any repair at any time. This does not dissuade me. 303-455-7242. That's the way I feel about them. Now, let's talk about something that you really need to know about, and that's my eyes, Icon. So many people have been asking about it since Mark and I have been doing these commercials. Now, Icon, Eye Care, can do LASIK, and they can do glaucoma, they can do cataracts, they can do anything to do with the eyes. The thing I like talking about is what I had done. I basically had cataract surgery, but I didn't have cataracts. Why? Because now they have replacement lenses that can focus, like the ones God gave you. So they take out those and put in lenses that can focus. So, guess what? I can see without glasses, except for the tiniest print. Once in a while I'll use readers for the tiny, tiny print in low light. But here's what it is. No glasses, no cataracts ever. It'll never go bad. Like if you have LASIK, it can go bad because your eyes keep growing old. These, your eyes will not grow old. The lenses never grow old. You'll never lose your sight. You'll never need glasses. You'll never get cataracts. It's IconEyecare.com.
Kill that for a second.
This report is brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. One big crash in the center of town, eastbound I-70 approaching the ramps, the off-ramps there to north and southbound I-25. Crash involving a semi has those ramp lanes temporarily blocked. You can get onto the highway, though. You just have to get around the crash. Watch out for big delays on eastbound I-70 approaching the I-25 interchange. The rest of the drive across town in fairly decent shape. No other major delays in the drive. Just a blip of delay on northbound I-25 downtown near Alameda. The weather forecast, about a 20 to 30% chance of afternoon thunderstorms today with a high near 75. Right now cloudy and 66. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 630 K-How.
Cozy up to a new look during the Color Sweet Color sale. From August 30th to September 10th, ask Sherwin-Williams and save 30% on paints and stains. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store today. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Now, you've heard me talk a lot about stem cell therapy. I've done extensive research.
Which led me to Centennial Schultz Clinic right here in Colorado.
But the way it sounds is
for their work with stem cells.
I think-
They're all MDs.
I think someone-
With true living stem
whatever.
cells harvested from your own fat or
Are we
bone
off?
marrow, then
No,
strategically
turn it off.
delivered with
Okay.
guided
I'm sorry.
injections.
We need to have a
Only
call switch.
MDs deliver the
Injections. More experience than any other provider in the country. Why would you go to a clinic with no MDs at all? Centennial Schultz can help you with painful joints, knees, hips, back, shoulders, hands. They can repair most ACL tears with a needle instead of a knife. Before you have surgery, consult Centennial Schultz at 303-963-9201. Explore your options at a true medical regenerative clinic. Centennial Schultz, 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201. And on my referral list at referralist.com.
Have you ever wanted to refinance your mortgage but didn't want to start a new 30-year loan all over again? Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky for my friends at American Financing, and let me tell you, they can help. When refinancing to eliminate mortgage insurance, lower your rate, or consolidate high-interest debt, you don't have to worry about resetting your loan term, because at American Financing they offer 10, 13, or 18-year loans, really any term you need. It truly is a custom loan. You choose the term based on your budget, and they'll find the most competitive interest rate. It's your mortgage, your way. Plus, with a fixed rate, no matter where interest rates go, yours stays the same. Monthly payments won't increase. It just takes one call to their salary-based mortgage consultants. They'll guide you through options and will customize the right program to achieve your financial goals. They may even be able to get you closed in as fast as 10 days. So get started now, 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Pros in the know start with Lowe's, because Lowe's makes it easy to save big and get properties ready to turn. Update old appliances now and get up to 40% off select appliance special values. You can even save $235 on a white GE appliance kitchen suite, complete with Energy Star rated fridge, electric range, over-the-range microwave, and built-in dishwasher. Now only $13.71. So Pro, now that you know, start with Lowe's. Offer valid through 9/12. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only.
As many get ready for school days, others have split focus. Are you one of them? Are you worried about back taxes when you should be concentrating on textbooks and teachers? Maybe you got a letter from the IRS, or you're being audited. Kind of brings back memories of being called into the principal's office. You should be concentrating on your kids. Don't split your focus. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, recommending Larson Tax Relief, the only licensed team of experts on my referral list at referralist.com. Ron and Jack Larson, who I know personally, and their team of experts will get between you and the IRS. They'll negotiate the best possible settlements. So instead of going to the principal for a paddling, let Larson Tax Relief act as guidance counselors. They will make sure you get terms that work for you. Call 844-LARSON-TAX. Get your kids to school and focus on them. Let Larson Tax Relief deal with the principal, or you know what I mean, the state or IRS. Call 844-LARSON-TAX. That's 844-LARSON. Tax.
Ross Kaminsky, mornings 5 to 10.
Roy Orbison is coming to town. Well, it'll look like Roy, but it's actually a hologram. Would you see a hologram of your favorite dead musician? We'll talk with Roy Orbison's son, Alex, Thursday morning at 7:05 here on 630 KHOW.
Excuse my language. I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I want to make that clear.
I just got a message when I was talking about eye care. They said, Tom, why would anyone get LASIK? There is a price difference, okay? Icon can do LASIK anywhere from like $900 to up higher, okay? Whatever their prices are depending on your prescription, okay? But no, they actually have a one price too. They do a great job. I'm not trying to discourage you from getting LASIK. What I'm saying is, for some extra money, like it's about, I don't know, about $4,000 an eye. But think about this, okay? Never wear glasses, never get cataracts, because you're going to need cataracts anyway someday, most of you. So you save that right off the bat. And you really are getting lenses that focus. IconEyeCare.com. And somebody asked if Medicare covers it. Yes, Medicare covers the surgery part for cataracts if you have them. You pay the small upgrade for the lenses only, okay? Now, Suzanne, did we work anything out off the air? Is anything going on? I mean, really, this is...
So, Tom, I just got the quote from Pro Auto. It's going to be $710.75 for the diag fee and both O2 sensors to be replaced. So
and to be set?
That's the whole job for $710.
$710.
So, is that what you want me to present to Sheridan?
No, I want Sheridan to know this, and I want the consumer to know it, and I want the consumer to come right out and ask for something, and then I want to see what Kevin thinks, if anything he owes. And we're not making him. I want to see what he thinks.
Do you want to ask the consumer? He's online, too.
And then I'd like to ask people what they think. They heard it, 303-713-TALK, because we have to go to on other calls. Brian, what do you want?
I want to be compensated for
what? How much? What? How much?
Weeks.
Please just tell me.
I'd say if they pay half, maybe a little more than half of the new repairs, that'd be fine.
Okay, hold on.
They
Thank you.
misdiagnosed it.
Listen, Brian, I get you, man. You have already stated...
What was the misdiagnosis?
Yeah,
I missed
okay, what was that misdiagnosis, sir?
Right from the very beginning, they told me I never needed oxygen sensors, and then
you needed them.
I finally realized that I needed oxygen sensors. They never even put them in. So to me, that's a misdiagnosis.
Well, did you give them authorization to put them in?
I think it still needed the cat, though.
Yeah. No, listen, he even acknowledged he doesn't think they did anything as far as wrong or unethical, except he did say the lying. Specifically, Brian, what was the lying?
I'm sorry?
What was the lying you said?
He told me that he was going to put in oxygen sensors, and then he told me the reason the car was.
But they did. It's not like. But I want to make this clear. They were going to put them in, but you weren't charged for them, and they didn't say yes, we did it.
No, but for 5 weeks.
No, I understand, Brian.
We say the oxygen sensors aren't setting.
Right. Okay.
The oxygen sensors not set if they didn't put them in.
That's the key, right there. They said the oxygen sensors are not setting, yet they hadn't put them in, and that's even Kevin said they were trying to get them to set, but they hadn't even been installed. So I am puzzled. I don't think it's Kevin's fault. I think Kevin was given some misinformation from his tech. Folks, I'm going to tell you right now, you go to Sheridan Auto Tech. Don't let this bother you. This is I'm telling you. 303-455-7242 is their number. Now listen. We have Ty Chadwick with Lighten Up Electric and Plumbing out of Fort Collins, and we'll talk to him. We also have Eric Reinemer, Atlas CPAs. I have some emails for him. Also, folks, remember, whatever problem you have, for example, Pat wants to talk about tolls and fines. That's a big topic. Peter said he was ripped off. I'm Tom Martino for Ideal Home Loans.
You know, he should have never, ever let it get this far. He should have offered something right down. He knew the guy wanted something, he should have offered it.
Yeah. Well, he shouldn't have got in the position in the beginning, man. That's my thing.
With a welding.
That's crazy on an old vehicle. I had one of those that was an absolute nightmare at one point. It's so funny, I remember that vehicle.
Well, I thought they normally go under there and squeeze it with the pliers to see how solid that is, and if it's any good.
I'd be curious if the cats actually, or not the cats, if the O2s fix it. That would be the other thing. So what happens that they do the O2s and they don't work?
Then we tow it to budget A1.
I had one. I'm telling you, I had that same vehicle. It's just an absolute nightmare. No. Where did it come in?
From Chris. It came directly to me. I don't know how he got my email.
Who's Chris?
Some consumer.
Oh.
So we would do the promotion.
Send it to me.
Okay.
And you see, I did shoot Jeremy a quick. You'll see what I said.
Perfect. That's what we normally.
No, I mean I had to answer at least that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've got software that has like 90 different tracking numbers. Gotcha.
Okay, I'm going to answer.
I mean, and this is the number. That's the number Tom will say also is that tracking number. So, but just have him say that.
I texted Kevin to see those. I think those O2 sensors screw into that cat.
They screw into it?
Why do we have a fire alarm?
What is that? They publicized it as the first test of cell phones in the area.
Oh, it was my damn
Oh,
cell
right,
phone.
it's our cell phones.
Yes,
Yeah,
cell
they're
phones,
all-
yes.
For what? Emergency alerts. Tested wireless emergency alerts.
Emergency broadcast alerts are always 11
This is
o'clock.
only a test.
This is what you pay $1.80 a
That's
month
amazing.
for.
I
The
never.
outside ones are 11 o'clock.
It's cell phone. That's pretty cool.
Like if there's a tidal wave coming our way.
That'd be a big tidal
Boy, that'd be a hell of a tidal wave.
All right, we're in Colorado, right?
Can they just
Boy, if there was a tidal wave coming this way, man, you're done.
So
There ain't nowhere to
You got
go.
a good question. So if you're down by New Orleans or something like that, do you still get it?
What do you
Or is it where your cell phone register at? Or is it just
I'm sure
region?
it's GPS.
Big Thompson flood.
There's one in the car and one before it. I assume you know what that is.
There always
Yeah,
is,
so
of
they
course.
understand.
One measures the unburned fuel in, one measures out. That's how cats are. That's how they work.
There's usually more than two also.
Well, no, if there's multiple cats, there's multiple O2s.
On ML 320, there's 4. Because it's a V6. You got
There's some Audis that have like 4 cats and 8 O2s.
I'm asking Kevin if he'll pay half the bill.
I thought he was going to ask for the whole thing.
So he wants it to have, he wouldn't approve here. So he wants me to pay for half of the repair that he wouldn't approve here. Wow, that's what Kevin.
Because he had lost his fucking trust. What does Kevin not get? Kevin had the goddamn car telling him it wasn't setting, and they weren't even in the car. You know, I'm beginning to think Kevin is not taking this seriously. It's a major fuck up. I mean, I'm sorry. He can be on the fucking list, but it's a major fuck up. I'm tired of blaming consumers all the time. It's a fuck up.
Okay.
Properties ready to turn.
Dan, do you remember the big Thompson flood in Fort Collins?
Yep.
All those campers got, during the night, got drowned?
Which one? It's happened twice. I was there for the one in the 70s.
Wait a minute.
The big Thompson flood?
Oh, yeah.
Years ago.
If the cell phone thing would have had it then, they could have warned those people that all got drowned.
Did we all get that notice?
Except up in that area, you don't have cell service.
Kevin says, if it makes everyone happy, do it. So I guess we tell him that Kevin's going to
And
pay
it
half.
makes everyone happy, but it's not it goes on. Yeah, I doubt it registered.
Somebody says, I wish you would turn off the auto if you're going to cuss so much during the break. Another one said, that's the best part.
Circular stain and resurfacers. Offer valid through 9/5. Rebate varies. Exclusions apply. See store for details.
One of the finest companies I know, Excel Roofing, the way they do business, the ownership and the management, from the top down, they believe in excellence. Hence the name Excel Roofing.
Well, I
never
what I do is I
into
think
anything like signing a blank contract.
We should try to get it on our own.
Well, I think it works out.
When it comes to roofing, they really
No, I
be
mean,
fully
you
informed.
had
So they give you a
customers
full
who said-
contract with everything that needs to
I've
be
had
done.
one
And
right
then they
now,
will find
the
your
offer
insurance
review
company
on us.
to
We
get
gave them all
what
this
you
money
need.
back.
If
I
you
think,
don't
uh,
get it, and then
Let me
you
tell you,
get
we already
paid
did.
a dime, not one dime, to get them on the job
It's always
and to
better
finish
than
that
me to
job.
do it.
Then,
We
only
have,
if you're 100% happy.
I don't know.
And by the
And
way,
they
they
took
don't
the
do
gutters, those gutters off.
because they know
They
that
told
they
them
will
they used to do
earn your
600
trust,
cars in a
your
month.
business,
But you
and your
guys-
loyalty.
the guy
That's
was pissed
Excel
off
Roofing.
because
303
my head is going up. Didn't say anything.
No, that's not necessarily true. I've called a few times. I haven't left messages because they always tell me he'll be back from the auction at this time, call back. So it's not like there's no blow off. or anything.
What are you going to put the sentimental value in the backyard and let it grow?
Maybe
I see him everywhere,
He's
though.
going to put them on.
I mean, they're on TV.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize he did that.
For the money, it's not worth it.
I mean, that's unheard of.
This is how, that's what I'm saying.
That's number one. That puts them above.
I hate giving free to people because I think that you realize that is them that's going to do the next time. I mean, there should be custom. There should be a business out there that says this is.
Of addiction. You and your family can't lose it.
I've always thought there should be a referral network between business owners to have happy customers, where you submit a name and it just, everybody avoids it.
What he just said is funny.
I like it. I
I need
do.
a non-referral list. You put crappy customers. Everybody puts their crappy customers on it.
Yeah, did you see the Sleaze Brigade?
Oh, yeah.
We have a Sleaze Brigade.
No, but he's saying for customers.
Yeah, like lousy customers.
Oh,
Stay away.
that's Oh.
If he comes to your business, stay away.
Yeah.
And why?
You'd be surprised how often we've heard that.
But I would like, I would like if not only that, you could track to see if this customer is always bad.
Well, you can, if you look at their Yelp reviews and everything else, you can tell the ones coming.
Is your credit score preventing you from buying a
That
home?
lady was trying to get the free patio.
From refinancing to a better
Jeez, I can't even read this email, it's so fucking long. I hate that shit.
There is more to mortgage
I found
than
she's
credit score.
after
So
somebody
if you're
else.
getting denied a loan
What do you
based
mean
on
she's
credit
after
score
She gets
alone,
more free
well,
work
you
done.
call the
Really?
loan lender.
She's just
And American Financing.
That way, I hope
hope
she loses everything.
Who?
The lady that had shown us the patio before, after we just finished it,
And she's suing.
and then she's doing,
Making claims that
claims that the Clint went out there,
the wrong
and
way, and then said that I lied about which way it hit.
and there was no, it was a perfect slope, and
Don't agree with financial goals.
I will bet that she didn't like the color after she had picked it out because it was too hot. It was black. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
And when they pulled the old deck off, the sill plate on our house is all rotted. And that looks like crap. That should be fixed. Plus, when they did the patio, now it's all level, and the yard is all over the place. And the yard really needs to be completely regraded. It has nothing to do with the concrete, but everything doesn't look good.
But I'll bet you she went out on a nice, hot, sunny day and
It's real dark. Yeah, it's very dark. I wouldn't have done it that way.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your Troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by Flexident of Colorado.com. If you're looking to get your hail damage fixed, you can get in right away. Not only get in, but you can get a discount of $500 on bigger jobs. You can call for details. That's Flexident of Colorado.com. We've all had our cars fixed by these guys. They do great work, and you can stand by them. They're on our referral list at referrallist.com, and you can just go on there and put in Flex or Flexident. Here's the number, 303-619-6273. No Carfax, no reporting. It's like it was never there. It doesn't detract from the value of your car. You're not really doing anything dishonest because Carfax is not required, by the way. 303-619-6273, Flexident of Colorado.com. Welcome to the show. We have with us Eric Reinemer, Atlas CPAs and Advisors. Eric, what deadlines are we looking at right now as far as taxes? And we'll get to all of your calls too, 303-713-TALK. Go ahead.
Well, the big thing is the corporate deadline on September 15th and the personal deadline on October 15th, if you haven't filed yet for last year.
So, October 15th is the absolute drop-dead deadline because you get extensions. Are these extensions automatic?
No, you've got to file the extension in April.
So when you file, do you have to pay your tax? This is a thing people don't understand.
You've got to pay whatever you owe unless you want to pay interest and penalties on it.
Now, if you don't have all the money, what do?
You just go ahead and file the extension, so at least you don't get a non-filing penalty.
Then?
And you pay whatever you can.
And if you pay like, a couple $1,000 and do that, do they send you a payment plan?
Yeah, what'll happen is the month after you file, you'll get a letter saying, "Hi, we noticed you didn't pay all your money. Would you like to go on to an installment agreement?"
And then but it's their agreement. You don't say, "Yeah, I'll throw you a couple $100 a month."
You get to say what you want to do, but they'll give you 3 to 4 years.
They will.
They will.
But there is interest?
Interest and penalties.
But the penalties as well, even if you're doing a payment plan?
Yeah, I'd say think about it like a 10% loan from the IRS.
Is it always better to do it, to file, and to do that with what you can pay? Is it always better?
Always.
It is?
Yep.
Okay, then non-filing. But now let's talk about normal people. What should they be doing now for next year? When I say next year, for filing 2018, what should we be doing, Eric?
The big thing is people need to be aware with the change in the tax law. The rates have changed a little bit. On the one hand, dropping a couple of points, but a bunch of exemptions have gone away. So you just need to find out if you're an employee, is your withholding going to cover what you're going to owe? Because with withholdings, tables changed. When the law passed, everybody automatically got a reduced amount being withheld, which may or may not be enough.
Why wouldn't it be enough?
Because for, like, say, somebody in the 25% tax bracket, the rate dropped to 22%, so the IRS presumes the person is going to owe less money, but they don't know what else is going on in your life. So there's a presumption there that may or may not be correct.
If you're a W-2 employee and not enough is withheld, do you get penalized as a W-2 employee?
If it's over $1,000.
Really?
Yes.
So even if you are just a W-2 and they're taking out what the government says they need to, you can get penalized.
You betcha, because you're responsible for the W-4, and most employers gave people a new W-4 in February when the bill passed.
So if you say, wait a minute, I had 2 deductions standard, and this is what it turned out to be, the government can come back and say, even though it says that, you absolutely are required to do more.
That's right, because it's your responsibility, the person who owes the taxes.
Mark, so even if your employer goes by the government guidelines and enough is not taken out, you can end up paying penalties.
Well, hell yeah, why wouldn't you?
Well, because I'm talking about a normal work-a-day W-2 employee. How many of them know?
How many of them lie and say, I've got 14 kids and they only have 2 to take those deductions and owe at the end of the year, Eric?
It really
It's pretty common.
Yeah. The main thing is each person has to take responsibility for it and not play a game and just be in control.
You know, it's even beyond that, Tom. Remember, Don Eiley, all those people thought he was paying the money. They were all held responsible.
Peter, how did you get ripped off, Peter? Welcome.
Hi. I called you guys earlier about the contractor here. Yeah, 'cause he just walked away.
Can you tell me what happened? Where are you?
I'm just about a mile down the street from you.
Really? Okay. And you had called us before?
Yeah, because the guy, he walked away.
Tell me when you signed the initial. When did you sign the initial contract?
Mid-April.
Mid-April. And what was what is the contract? What price?
Complete house remodel. It was for
and how much?
60.
How much?
60,000.
60. 60. Okay. Now, how much did you put down?
I've already paid him 3/4 of it.
Okay, so can you give me the amount? 45 or what?
40. So I paid him 3 installments of $7,800.
Of $7,800.
21.
Okay. So let's just say about $23,000 you paid.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Just roughly. Okay. So or 24 to round it out. Okay. So how much work was done? I'm trying to figure out now the upside down part. So how much work was done here, bro?
Well, they started everything and finished nothing.
Okay, so how much work has been, I don't mean completed, but if somebody came in to do the job, and I'm not talking about whether it has to be torn out or not, I'm just saying if everything that was done correctly, what percentage still has to be done? 90%? 80%? Half? What?
I'd say 60.
So
60% is done.
Now, 60% done, but how much of that 60% done sucks?
Oh, dude, the tiles have to be ripped out of the whole bathroom.
So are you saying now 60%'s done? How much is acceptable? 50%? 40%? How? Like if a contractor was to come in and finish, would he say, I got to go back and do this, 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 and this? So if you looked at the whole job now from different eyes, how much was acceptable? Is it still 60% or is it more like 30%?
Oh, more like 30%.
Or maybe 40. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. What do you?
I'm saying more like 30. It's guy. You got. I'm down the street. Have Mark come on down.
No. We won't have Mark. We want somebody who knows what they're doing. Hey! No, I'm just kidding. We want somebody familiar with construction. Initially, we'll send out Deputy Clint.
Yes, he's good.
Before college.
Yeah. And when you say they walked,
Fessenden.
What's his name?
Rod Fessenden.
Why did he walk away?
The painter, they had a trim carpenter, and he wasn't done. The painter showed up.
No, I mean,
this place isn't ready.
In general.
This is why. This is why.
Go ahead.
Well, no, this is it. It was in general. They kept saying stuff's ready. They kept bringing people in. It wasn't ready. And I said, guys, this stuff isn't ready. You're not getting shit done. And I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
No, it's okay. I got it, Angie. I got it. Okay. So what we'll do is let the delay build back up. I know you didn't mean to do it, so I don't mind taking you again. A lot of times we don't do that.
I got to ask you something.
But he's not getting crap done, and that's it. We got to call the guy. We'll
figure it out.
Here's what we're going to do, Peter. I'm going to have Deputy Clint talk to you off the air. Go on and talk to him on line 1, Deputy Clint, and let's go see him, and let's first assess the work, okay?
Well, that delay's rebuilding. Check this out. I had a call yesterday. This will blow you away. Woman's email gets hacked. She did work for Aurora Public Schools, okay?
Yes.
She sends an invoice to them for $6,200. They pay the $6,200.
For what?
By a wire, for cleaning, or a yard work, but for the school, landscaping.
She did landscaping.
She did landscaping for the school district.
I got you, man.
Okay. Well, she didn't send the invoice. It looks like someone hacked into her email, sent them an invoice from her with wiring information. Aurora wired the money to someplace in North Carolina, which of course now is done and over, bank accounts closed, money's gone. So here's my question. Who's wrong in this? Does the school still owe her the money because she got hacked? What's your opinion on this? It's insane.
Well, okay. She got hacked.
She got hacked is what it looks like because the email came from her account.
That's weird.
With the wiring instructions. They
weird.
Legitimately paid the invoice, but the money went to North Carolina, and of course they closed the account.
No, this is a good one.
It comes down to culpability. Where is it? I say Aurora did nothing wrong, but I want your opinion.
Wow, this is a good one, Mark. 303-713-TALK. We'll examine that. Meanwhile, we also have with us Ty Chadwick with Lighten Up Electric and Plumbing. They do plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains up in Fort Collins. We love to have them on for all the home services. We'll be telling you more about them, and we have some questions for them. Right now, stem cell therapy is a big deal, and I want to direct your attention to Centeno Schultz. Centeno Schultz. You know, you're going to hear dozens of commercials. Let's boil it all down. And I don't want you to just say, okay, Tom, you're an egotistical fool to say this, because here's what I'm going to say. Don't listen to anyone but me. And I'll tell you why. Because you can verify what I say. You cannot verify what others say. Prove it to yourself. What I want you to do, honest to God, is start Googling and start talking to doctors, MDs. You will not get true living stem cell therapy from any clinic that ships fluids in. It's that easy. You can't get it. Oh, that fluid has stem cells in it at one time, but you're not going to have them at your therapy. Maybe by accident, 1 or 2 or 100, but you need millions upon millions. You won't get them. Centeno Schultz is one of the few clinics that do true living stem cell therapy legally, ethically, and the right way. And they harvest it from you at the time of treatment. Contact them for a true evaluation and get it done for arthritis, for hips, for knees, backs, shoulders, hands, elbows. They're even having some seminars you can go with no obligation and learn all about it. You can learn why I'm right about this and the other people hawking these fake clinics are wrong. Here's the date, September 13th and September 27th. They're in the evening at 6. Call for details or call for your own appointment, 303-963-9201, 303-963-9201, or look for Centeno Schultz online, centenoschultz.com, or on my referral list at referrallist.com.
This report is
Eric, I got a question for you.
Really? What part?
How do we treat any train the ligaments? It's not working yet. We're back on Friday.
How long has it been? From an individual? Yeah. So they took the stem cells from you.
That's just I did PRP and my right. I've had a whole case.
So it's reportable, but the person that gave it, you get it. So whoever gave it, my dad, your dad was from 709.
Oh, I got a question for you. How much, roughly, is a, hold on, let me look up what they call this.
And the 65K is reported. Where big computer in the sky. Towards the 11 million thing. We all be so.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure we're doing it right. Dusty ripped off somebody else.
Okay, here we go. It is called
the damn guy's out on bail.
Dynamic Air Cleaner with polarized media.
Can I say?
Installed.
You got to give it up.
What do you think that would generally run for the top-notch brand, not the knockoff, whatever that means?
That's something I'll have to check. I'll text my guy over that right now.
One of these two now?
I have a couple good. Ben, would you know what that is?
And they can't hear this.
Oh. I'll text my guy in the field.
I'm just curious, because I had someone email us saying, hey, I'm questioning how much I spent for this. Although I've heard that those things can be pretty expensive.
They can be.
I'm guessing it was probably in line.
Bedwetting, chronic allergies, problems of
And what product?
They called it a, hold on,
that these issues may be related and it might not be what
dynamic air cleaner with polarized media installed on my furnace.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it does.
If your child is struggling with any of these issues,
Let me see, I had something, let me see if there's a brand. I might have actually had a brand.
Again,
Hold
that
on.
number is 866-VIVO-CO. That's VIVOS-CO.
Yeah, it basically, there is cheap knockoffs. This is an actual one.
Dr. Alexander and her team can help your child. Again, that number is 866-VIVO-CO, VIVOS-CO, or go to Vivo.
I'm just curious, roughly. Not a cheap knockoff, like whatever the best model is, and I have no idea what that is. Man, I have a high efficiency. Just had it put in like, I don't know, not long ago at all. And I did not realize how quick those filters get dirty in these stuff now compared to the old school. Holy crap, man.
You have that 3-inch media? Yeah. I've got a 3-inch media and I've got a HEPA system in it too.
Oh my God, I put a steamer in. Oh my God, it is the best humidifier I've ever owned in any house.
I took mine out.
Oh, I love
I
it.
put a bypass in.
I love it.
I couldn't get it to work right.
I can put our entire house down, 6,000 square feet. I can run 40%, no problem, humidity in the house, any time of year.
Just one system.
Well, it's one system. I can do zone system, but I keep the fan on constantly. It's at variable speed. So really, it works perfectly. Everything is almost perfect.
Yeah, I had problems with my steam humidifier and took it out.
Why is a sense of purpose.
Put way too much humidity in the basement versus upstairs, even with the fan running all the time.
My reason why.
Plus, it burns up your ductwork.
Yeah.
What does?
The steam or the
I don't think the steam does. You think so?
Inside it does. It didn't get there's no way. There's friction inside the ductwork, so there's no way that you won't.
The lady yesterday at the school,
But you get those
she can send that to you.
Yeah, but steam is not. It's like a cold steam.
No, I know.
Okay.
But it leaves a vapor. It leaves a vapor. I'm not a vapor.
This is the lady that.
I don't know. Those canisters in there. I don't know. That's curious. You said that. Yeah,
She only has one email.
It's not a huge deal. I just had an email question that asked that.
Yeah, I'll get you an answer.
Yeah, it'd be great.
She mostly has text. It doesn't sound to me that she has enough on the phone or text to do anything with. She said she only has one email, period. The rest of it was some text, but she said she was working right there outside the window, the person she was dealing with, so it was almost all verbal.
So she doesn't have a school, the email the school got that said, talked about the wiring? The wire, the transfer wire.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Art of Granite is the art of doing things the right way. Art of Granite is the art of saving money, and Art of Granite is getting prices on the phone for your project, because Art of Granite doesn't play around. He only charges for fabrication and installation. The other stuff, the cabinets, have a small markup, and the tear-out and haul-away's free. The wholesale material does not have a markup. You can buy wholesale anywhere from him or anywhere using his wholesale account. So that's why he can give you a price on the phone. He loves it. Just call him. He might need a photo or some square footage, of course, and that's it. He has custom edges, sinks, cabinets, and everything at his beautiful showroom in Golden. He's open 6 days a week. He serves the mountain communities and the Front Range. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. artofgranite.net. I'm Tom Martino. Thank you for being here. And Ty, Lighten Up Electric and Plumbing in Fort Collins. Do you recommend, we were talking about moisturizing the house or, humidifying the house. Do you recommend humidification?
I do, absolutely. Especially with all the hardwood floors and pianos and all the stuff.
Yeah.
It does make a difference. I've got a grandson with a lot of allergies, and I've noticed that his allergies are less when he visits us than when he's at home up in Cheyenne.
Now, moisture in the air is good for you. We all know that. Too much I hate, but it's good. What do you keep yours at?
I believe ours is set at 35%.
Oh, that's good. Now, there's one thing I was told, though, with a piano. If you have a piano that's never been, you've never had a moisturizer, a humidifier. If you have a piano that was, made in a dry climate and in a dry climate, you can keep it dry, nothing will happen. If you have one that you bring from another state, if you do not humidify, it will crack the soundboard eventually or warp it. And if you do humidify one that has not been humidified before, you have to always keep it humidified. The good news is you don't need a whole house humidifier. Sometimes they have little ones now you can put right in the piano to keep that humidified. But the whole house at 35% is pretty good. Now, you notice hardwood floors in Colorado almost always move a little, or in a house especially. I like luxury vinyl tile, but hardwood does move. And does that help with the hardwood?
It's not really my specialty. I'm a master electrician, but I've noticed a difference in people's homes. We've got laminate flooring in our house, which is not going to move. I mean, it's a floating floor, but I've been told, and all the research that I've done says you need to have a certain amount of humidity to keep, the dust down and keep these other airborne things down and keep everything moist.
Lighten Up Electric and Plumbing, 970-673. 4441. Look for them on our referral list. We are so happy to have someone up north that does it all. Okay, so let's keep going here. Ripped off by home improvements, you're going to go see that guy, right? So I think that's fine right now. I mean, Gary wants some financial advice. Gary, what's going on?
Hello, Tom. How are you?
What's going on in your life, sir?
Well, I need some advice, I guess.
Yeah.
About 7 years ago, I went on disability and had to quit working, and I had 3 credit cards, and I quit paying on them. I've had no contact with them over this time.
Okay, how long ago was it? How long ago was it, Gary? The last time
7 years ago.
Okay, so you did not hear from them. Now, it could be, Gary, that they noticed you owe the money and they're trying to get in under the 6-year deadline. When I say deadline, they can't get a judgment after 6 years in the state of Colorado for an unpaid bill.
Well, that's what I thought.
For an unpaid, that doesn't mean they can't collect. They can still try to collect. They can try to collect all they want. What they're hoping is that you can get tricked into making a payment, then you resurrect it for another 6 years.
Right, because I listened to you and you informed me.
So are these bills truly more than 6 years old? Truly?
Oh, it's definitely 7 years old. But you know what my problem is, Tom? Is I called that collection agency, and they swear up and down they got 3 judgments against me.
Well, maybe they do. Maybe they do. And if they do, here's the problem. A lot of people say, wait a minute, they can't collect, it's over 6 years. But if they have a judgment, they may have gotten a judgment, a default judgment, and you didn't know about it.
Well, that's the thing. Don't you have to be served?
Yes, but here's the deal, okay? If you...
And they're telling me up and down that I've been served. Okay. I haven't been served.
Well, listen, that's easy, okay? It's easy. First, I want to say a few things. If you were gutter served, meaning they lied and cheated and didn't really serve you and said they served you, and that happens sometimes, not as much as people think, but it does happen. If that happens, here's the odd part about that. If you don't contest it after 6 months, you can't contest it. Judges won't let you because they consider this lax on your part. You have to literally notice it. And most people don't notice it. That's the problem, because they don't try collecting until after that. Here's what you do, Gary. First of all, I want to tell you about Wink and Wink. Honest to God, I want you to call them for advice, because they're bankruptcy attorneys and they're great people. winkandwink.com, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's the first thing. You call Wink and Wink. And then the next thing I want to tell you is about what to do. If this is a case that they filed against you, there's a case number. You can easily go to the courthouse where the case is filed and get the court. They will pull the case file, and there will be something in there called return of service. That return of service will tell you when you were served and the manner in which you were served. And then you look at it. Here's the problem. If you say, no, I wasn't served, this is a lie, if it's more than a year old especially, you're not going to do anything about it, Gary. I'm sorry. You're not. Okay? Not unless there are so many cases filed against this process server that a judge has an investigation or something going on. So you may want to call winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720. Seriously. It's the best advice I have for you. Okay, so let's keep going here. Bob has a comment on Aurora Public Schools. I don't know what it's about, but go ahead, Bob.
That was that landscaping deal, man.
Which one? Oh, yeah, that one. Okay,
it's crazy.
It's the landscape. The woman did landscaping.
Legitimately.
For Aurora, and then someone hacked into her account and invoiced Aurora. Aurora paid and wired to a wrong account.
$6,200.
But see, Mark, I find it odd that not only did they hack into her account, but they found out how much was owed. They found out money was owed to her. That's weird to me.
You know what's weird?
I'm not sure I believe it.
When I said that to you last, no, I believe it. It was on Channel 7 News as well. But so they looked into it a little.
Must be true. Yeah.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. But guess who just emailed me saying it almost happened to him?
Who?
Shemansky over at Genesis.
Wow.
He said, when you said that, I couldn't believe it. We didn't actually send the money out, but someone hacked it, and sure enough, he almost wired that money, but he didn't at the last minute. It's a big scam right now.
All right, so...
But whose fault is it? I go back to that.
Bob, what do you think, Bob?
Yeah, so I was just, I was wondering yesterday, you guys were talking about it, and was the email actually hacked, or was it spoofed? Meaning, did they create a similar email address and then send out an invoice? And that leads me to think it's some kind of inside job, within Aurora Public Schools or an employee of the landscaping company.
Wait a minute. They're right. Like if somebody in the Aurora Public Schools found out about it and got paid.
First of all, I screwed up. It wasn't Channel 7. It was Fox 31.
Okay.
But according to that, it was her email. So it came from her email. Okay. Which would mean someone got her password.
So if someone got into your email, I just have to say, if you did not pay me for something, I don't care what the excuse is. If I didn't get paid, I didn't get paid. If they say, yes, you did get paid, it would be like getting paid in my mailbox and somebody stole it out of my mailbox. I still didn't get paid.
Yeah, but it's your mailbox.
Doesn't matter. I didn't get
We've
paid.
had this with rents before.
Doesn't matter.
I
didn't get paid. I did not get paid.
I'm shocked.
I'm wondering if this is not legal. This is my opinion. If you think about it, I did not get paid.
Well, we talked about that. The problem is, I don't even know. Maybe you know the answer to this. Can she lien a school district, or is it governmental immunity?
Well, no.
That's it. You sound exactly how I sounded yesterday.
No, immunity is for lawsuits, Mark. No, you can lien. I think you can lien public buildings. I think you can.
Wow. So I could lien the governor's mansion?
I think immunity extends to liability for personal injury. I think. I'll look that up. Now, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I have a client. They've been on my referral list for so many years, might be going on 30, Denver Egress. I know these guys, and they do egress windows, okay? So if you want to open up your basement, you need an egress window, and it has to be legal. So many people have square footage they can't legally count because they don't have an egress window. But even better than that, you know what they're doing? They're rebuilding egress because so many of them are cracking. If they're wood, they're rotting, or the plastic cracks, or the aluminum gets rotted, and they are doing an exchange, meaning they will keep that same hole, reinforce it, and put in a brand new, beautiful, lifetime window well. It'll never go away, and it'll provide proper light, proper egress. Those little egress windows are not allowed anymore. If you want to do anything, you got to have a real egress window, and they can dig those out and make them bigger. They can exchange your old one, or listen to this. It's incredible. They can create a walk-out basement. Yes, you may think, well, my lot's not made for one. They can make something, and they can wall it in. they've done gentle slopes, they've done landscaping, whatever it takes, they can do walkouts in most areas, okay? Now, there are some you can't, but they can do walkouts, meaning your basement could be dug out on one side, it can be integrated into the landscaping, and you can have a patio area. Sometimes they use retaining walls, sometimes they use gentle landscape slopes. Call them for details, whether it's an egress window new, an egress window rebuilt, or a walkout. DenverEgressWindow.com. I've known these guys for more than 25 years. 720-626-4221. 720-626-4221. Or just look for Denver or Egress, Denver Egress Window on my referral list at referralist.com.
Mark, can I assume all of these things on my personal inventory were on the days they were supposed to be?
Oh, absolutely. Per business. Did you know precedence?
That's your question, Mark.
Is actually in the Constitution how important it is when it comes to the Supreme Court?
What is it? Oh, court precedent. Well, yeah, that's why they're a legislature.
It's amazing though. I didn't know it was actually built into the Constitution.
I don't know in what part you're saying about that. I didn't know that.
And the Federalists, I don't know the actual name.
Yeah.
But it basically says, I heard Kavanaugh talking this morning, how important it is. It isn't just something they do for a reason to try to follow it. It's something that's written into the Constitution. I did not know that.
And all this stuff. She was working right outside the window.
But she was all sketchy on everything.
That's right where they were. They were 1,200 miles. Right in there.
She really was sketchy.
I knew it.
So I don't know more about communication.
The biggest complaint I get on any HVAC company is pricing. All the way down. It doesn't matter who they are, where they come from, it's the number one because of this. They charged me X amount for a toilet. I saw the same toilet a week later at Home Depot. Or, we got this done, my kids came over to the house for dinner on Sunday, and my son-in-law told me he could get that light switch for $3 at Home Depot. Every time. It's the most amazing thing I ever heard. You never hear it in anything else. You never hear it like, I bought a new garage. You never hear someone come in and go, well, they sell wood at Home Depot for a lot less. You could have built it yourself for a lot less. I'm just saying HVAC in general, the biggest thing is they saw it at Home Depot and they think they got ripped off. It's just crazy.
Oh, they know a guy.
Is there anything other on the homepage? That's it. It's the craziest thing.
Call today.
What is it?
Oh, this is that lady's website. Look at it. What a terrible website.
Contact is the best. I wonder if she comes over like that in her short shorts.
By the way, Larson is never done on. They don't want it done live. It's a 1 minute in the system, so you got to work it in the third hour somehow.
Oh, maybe
it's in the system. You'll see it. Mark 60 seconds, and it's Larson.
So the 15th is the last day, right?
Tech savvy, so she very easily put
last extension. Yeah.
There's only one extension.
When I go down 6.
Why do I have 3?
There's only one extension for 6 months.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
And reps can get your purchase quantified for
The funny part is I know I overpaid like usual.
since 2007.
So I don't even know. Do you still get a penalty if you're late? I mean, I don't think I'm going to be late, but
Well, you could be a year late, but if you overpay, they can't.
they don't care.
They don't care. They're sitting on your money.
What I'm worried about is I got to look at. I think I sold that. I don't know how Mallory handled that building.
I mean, it's not for this show.
I'll find out.
Installment sale over several years.
I did some of it right off the bat to pay taxes on it, then I did the rest as an installment sale. So I don't know what year it would have been paid off. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it just follows the cash. Well, you report it as your cash
Coming
comes
in.
in.
But it won't count the interest?
My neighbor.
Oh, yeah, plus the interest, yeah.
No, I'm saying, could I apply the interest to the principal on the bill?
The interest is separate, that's taxable.
No matter.
And then it's the percentage of the principal. That's what dictates when you're taxed on it. It's the principal, not the interest. I thought that was over and done with.
The building's sold and done, but it happened this year, so I'll load the taxes of what I have left next year.
It's like having a door halfway open and throwing.
That's the only thing for this year. I probably should have paid in the second
It's a
quarter
weird house. My wife and I used to own it.
because that's when the transactions took place. You know what I'm saying? But because it's capital gains, are you still supposed to pay in that quarter?
You are, yeah. We had somebody have a $2 million gain last year in the first quarter, so they kicked in the first quarter. But if at the end of the year you paid in 110% of the previous year, you're okay. All safe
It does have a new furnace, but I think they left all the old one that he does.
Okay.
Then they did,
You're probably
a bad service.
Yeah, they just not for this year. I haven't paid in $110.
I've never seen it.
Because my big one's at the end of the year. I usually pay most of it in my fourth quarter. Or, you know, by April, or January, February, March.
Got in the middle of the night.
But this year, because of that building sale, that's the only part.
Anybody going to the house with a sheet on?
Yeah, that's right. In 17 you can just roll it over to 18 to cover that.
CrackerjackMudjacking.com.
If you have sloping concrete, heaving or sinking, it's probably, well, it is. It's because of the void underneath. Concrete in itself is almost perfect. But the substrate, the soils can sink and void out, they can wash out, and you need to replace it. And mud jacking is what they call it. They call it mud. It's a combination of sand and concrete, and they put it in the holes, and it's permanent. It's a permanent solution. Plastic is not. It's also environmentally friendly. Plastic is not. And it's more precise. And Crackerjack Mudjacking has 60,000 jobs completed, 60,000 in their 20 years of business. So here's the deal. If you want to repair your concrete for a fraction of the cost of tearing it out and pouring new, give them a call. They'll look at anything and then give you the advice. So call them first. Even if it's in a small basement or patio, they can get underneath. They have the equipment to do it. 303-410-7787. 303-410-7787. CrackerjackMudjacking.com. Okay, so whose fault is it? If you did landscaping for a public entity and somebody hacked your email and somebody sent an invoice to the public schools or the library or whoever you did the work for, and they paid the hacker instead of you, could you claim I was not paid? This is a weird one. Rob, what did you... Oh, Rob has a different problem, by the way. Hold on, Rob. You have a problem with Uber. I'll get right to you. Bob, did you give your comment on that public school situation, sir? Okay, I'm just going to move on. I just really can't wait. Rob, what happened with Uber Eats?
I have a regular Uber driving account. Yeah. I don't have an Uber Eats account or app, and I got 2 hacks from them, 2 charges.
For Uber Eats?
Yeah, Uber Eats, don't have it. The thing is, they don't have a phone number. You can't contact them. You can't email them. They're like invisible.
I know, but Mark managed to do it. He got in touch with him when his cell phone was stolen and driven around. Listen, I have to tell you, this whole new deal with Uber and Lyft, I'm telling you that so many people get hacked. I don't know why, but for some reason they're insecure because people are unsecure. They're getting in to these networks. I almost always get hacked when I use Uber. Now, I used them just recently. We'll see. I gave them another try. And then Lyft, I've never been hacked. But there is a way you can do it, Rob. You can contest it on your credit card.
Well, I called my bank, and the first one, they said, okay, we can take it off this first one, watch it, if you get a second one, and then this morning there was one for 49 change. They said, we got to cancel the card.
Right.
And you know, it kind of worked. I have all kinds of auto pay.
Me too, Rob. Let me give a consumer tip here. I'm going to give you a tip for the future. I know this is a pain in the ass. Here's what you do. You have 2 cards. One that you keep in the house in a safe that you never use on the street, so you can't lose it and people can't copy it. You keep it for all of your auto pays. The other one you carry around with you, so if ever there's a problem, you cancel it. So that's for later. But Rob, you're exactly in the same position I was. They say, yeah, we'll cancel the card. And then you have all of this work to do.
God, I know.
I know it. It's a pain, but you got to.
Is it an Uber driver, or is it someone where I use my card
using it on Uber.
That's up for grabs. When I did it with Uber, okay, when I used Uber, that same card, and I changed it to see, and every card I used on Uber, this was in Miami, showed up as another Uber charge. It did. Now, then they started showing up as other purchases, and it happened within hours of Uber. So, listen, it could be anybody. I don't know. I don't even know how people get a hold of numbers, expiration dates, and all of that, and the code on the back.
Well, all they'd have to do is log into your Uber account.
But we're told they're encrypted, Mark.
No, I mean the account, like if you knew the password.
But I think if I go on my account, they only show the last 4 numbers of the account. And really, I think they do. They don't show the whole number.
No. What I'm saying is if they downloaded the Uber app and simply put in your email and password.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Your credit card's saved into there. They wouldn't have to know that.
They just use your account.
That's why it generally shows up as Uber. But, man, it's crazy. Yours has been hacked so many times, and I saw it firsthand.
Now, remember, I did it this weekend. So far, I have not had any hacks. So,
hey, we've got something for you, birthday boy.
Oh, really? Yep. Hope it's good. I hope it's I told you, silver or gold only at 65. Okay, Kevin, did you have the same experience?
Yes, Tom. I had. It was a couple months ago. Every invoice I sent out to I'm a subcontractor, to my builders, somebody followed right behind me and asked to be paid with an ACH. And they sent it from an email that was very similar to mine, but not exactly.
So so they sent out request for payment as if it was you doing it?
Yes, and they copied my invoice and everything. It looked exactly the same.
Did people?
And the only thing different was they sent it from a different email where they changed them.
But how did they know? How did they know when you had a job done?
Well, because I had invoiced these builders, and right after I sent the invoice to these builders,
yeah, I know.
They sent it out right behind it.
No, what he's asking is how did they know you were sending those invoices out?
That's right. That's what I want to know. Were they monitoring you and how? Hold on, and we'll get to that. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. If you want straight, beautiful teeth and a beautiful smile, you can get it without the expense of cosmetic dentistry. You know, there's nothing wrong with veneers and cosmetic dentistry, but you know, for a whole mouth, it could cost you as much as $50,000, $60,000 just the front teeth. Your grill, it'll cost you like $20,000. What you need to do is get the real fix, and that's what Aurora Orthodontics is doing. You know how I talked about Icon, where Icon gives you new lenses, right? Brand new lenses instead of just getting LASIK done. Well, with Aurora Orthodontics, instead of just getting veneers, you can get your whole mouth straightened out. They widen your palate gradually with these mouthpieces, and then you wear Invisalign braces, and you don't have any extractions, and you don't have any kind of surgery. And he has proven he can do it with adults in 2 years to get a perfect, beautiful smile, while at the same time fixing TMJ and sleep apneas because your jaw is aligned. You got to find out about the New Orthodontics. 303-690-0100. Just Google the New Orthodontics, Dr. Kent Lawson, or go on my referral list at referralist.com. 303-690-0100. And again, like the Icon thing, right? It's not just a cover-up because you're doing the entire lens, and you'll never get cataracts, and you'll never need a prescription again. It doesn't get old. Your eyes don't age anymore when you have new lenses. And that's iconeyecare.com.
There's no person on earth who can work this many commercials into a show. Well, you can, but I mean, there's no other show on earth that can do it. No other show on earth.
Now wait a minute, Home Shopping Network. Hello.
Hey, one thing about that contractor sends stuff out. It's standard in the construction industry that billing's due on the 25th. So if somebody knows that billing's due on the 25th,
yeah, but how would he know to send it out to a particular person?
If it's an employee or someone that knows that they do work for them, could be a possibility.
I don't know, because he said they'd send him an invoice that looks identical for the same amount. I mean, God, they must know exactly. They have to be looking at the email somehow.
As Labor Day deals continue with three-quart mums, now only 3 for...
But if Aurora, I go back to the same thing. If Aurora didn't pay her and they paid somebody else, and let's say for argument's sake, her email was hacked, okay?
What I mean by big and small,
Whose fault is it?
are big when it comes to what they do.
Does Aurora still owe the money? Because Aurora's saying, I already paid.
I know.
It's crazy. You didn't pay the right person.
They didn't pay her.
I know, but if it's her fault that the email got hacked,
one person, no
if, I mean, that's the big if right there. But would it even come down to that? How do you think a judge would look at that, hearing that argument?
Oh my God, Mark. That's hard.
What control does she have over email?
Well, she clicked on a phishing one and gave up her info.
Sure.
That's generally how they get hacked. They click on something. They think like, you know, you get something saying, hey, someone tried to get into your Gmail account, click here to secure it. You click there to secure it, well, you were just phished.
Right.
Then you enter in your old password, which is really your current password. Now they have full access. They sit there and monitor your emails, waiting for you to send out an invoice.
Does the district have some kind of filter system for that if she used her school email?
It wasn't a school email. She was
her
the
personal?
business.
Right.
Okay.
So now, some people said that the school normally gives checks. They don't do wires.
Yeah. When I
So-
call, so can they cancel the wire?
The account was closed.
Yeah, wires are pretty
My
much
point
done,
is
man.
it didn't go to her name, her business name, her address, or her account.
I get it.
And it went to nothing of hers. So
Well, it could have. I'm not so sure. If you send a wire, I guess they need
North Carolina.
No, I remember that. I get it. But Aurora's saying this. So it really comes down to if she's, okay, can she sue the school district, first of all?
Does she have coverage for that on her insurance policy?
Mark,
Mark,
I don't think, I think the Immunity Act truly is, because it talks about maintenance and upkeep of the infrastructure. I don't think you're just immune, period, of everything, because, you know, the police get sued all the time.
Of course they
get sued. So I think that you could lien a building if you did a roof and they didn't pay you. I don't think people wouldn't work for them if they could. But here's the deal.
I don't know if they can or not. I have no idea.
Here's the deal. Who is? I mean,
It's the craziest thing.
If you
They legitimately, I think it really comes down to this. If her email was hacked, I think it's her problem. If it was an email that was similar and they tricked the school, I think it's their responsibility.
But they still, oh wait, you're saying if they got into her email and it was from her, it's like, why not believe it? It's from you and you said to pay here.
It's from her.
Oh, God.
But if someone did a similar one and tricked the school,
I know,
but she said on the air it was her email, not that it was similar.
In the substance over form argument, which law does a lot, the substance is she did not get paid.
That's true, but the substance is also they did pay. That's the part that's fucked up.
Yeah, but
you know, they also did
Why is she more important than them?
The school did something outside the standards. The school issues checks for everything. Wiring money is very, very rare.
It is weird that they did wire the money.
responsible for that.
Alex, Thursday morning at 7:05 here on 6:30 K-How.
It's the craziest question. Oh, yeah.
Tom
Martino, your troubleshooter, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. They have a special right now with digital hearing aids that can interface with your cell phone. You got to call for information. You can try these out with no obligation whatsoever. Of course, you got to be a candidate and you have to be screened. I love these people. I've used them for years. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. And the good part about them, Dr. Patty, Dr. Lisa, Dr. Borsick, they have been doing this for years. And they have a new beautiful facility on South Clarkson. That's on Clarkson and Hamden. Right in that building, Clarkson and Hamden, you'll see an urgent care. They're on the second floor, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, 303-534-0163. Free test drives on these new digital hearing aids, and they have tinnitus treatment as well, 303-534-0163. It's the place I go. Okay, so...
Wait.
We're having a lot of discussion.
We've got something for you.
What?
For your birthday.
Oh.
It is some memorabilia that you're going to love.
Okay. Well, if it's Beatles... Thank you. Okay, is it Beatles? Let's see.
It's signed.
Oh, very cool. The Monkees, you stupid jerk. He's got a signed photo of the Monkees.
Love the Monkees. Love the Monkees.
Oh, the Monkees, you could not have been.
Happy birthday, sir.
They are an artificial band. But really...
He outsold the Beatles numerous times.
No, not numerous times, Bart. You know what? Thank you for the thought. And you know something? I got to tell you something. When Mark talks about, playing guitar and being a musician, everyone listening is thinking he's such an idiot when he's talking about the Monkees. They do. I mean, it's like to say that they're a good band, but he just says that to irritate me.
They're the best.
Yeah, of course they are. Now, on that email hack, and by the way, Eric with Atlas CPAs and Advisors, when they're not here, they're at 303-799-9111. And they're on the referral list, but they really do all of our planning and our estimating and our accounting and all of that. And, Eric, what is the number one mistake? What is the number one mistake for small businessmen? That's what and women. We have a lot of small businesses that listen. Number one mistake.
I think it's not planning for cash flow, knowing what it's going to take to run your business, get it going, and setting aside the money it costs.
I think not setting aside taxes. Eric, they get into that trap of using that money in cash flow, and they don't make their quarterly payment. I mean, so many people go out of business because they don't have the taxes.
And we have had a lot of clients come our way, actually some from Larson Financial, where they've been living off the payroll taxes for years, and now they owe hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
They just went to sleep.
Right. And Larson Tax Relief, of course, they do all of that rescuing work, or they try to, but man, you don't get into that. Don't ever get into that. It's better not to pay rent than not pay the IRS. Tim's got a comment on that email hack. Go ahead, Tim.
Hi, Tom. Former common man. I was listening yesterday when the lady called in.
Yeah.
And from what I understood, she was contacted by the accounts payable department, and they told her that they had received her email and her instructions on where to send the money. And she told them, no, that's not me. Please don't do that. She said they went ahead and did it, and then 2 days later tried to cancel, but it was too late. It was already closed. So in my opinion, if that's the case, the school is completely at fault.
I think so, too, if that was the way it happened.
That's what I remember hearing.
Mark, what do you say? The way he said, the chronology was, Tim, do 1, 2, and 3 again. 1, the school contacted her.
Yes.
I don't remember that part. It's possible, though.
And said,
it was intriguing.
And said, we got your email, right?
Correct. Got your email and your instructions on where to wire the money. She told them, that's not me. Please don't do that.
Oh,
they went ahead and did it anyway.
She did say that, but I think what happened is they already had sent the money at that point. It wasn't after that.
Mark Trenner, Trenner Law. If you have a trademark, a copyright, an invention, you want to do any kind of patent searches, Mark Trenner, Trenner Law, 720-221-3708. That's 720-221-3708, Trenner Law. We got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. We're going to solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. I'm Tom Martino for Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan, because Ideal wants to make sure if they do a refinance for you, they put you in a better position than you were in before. Ideal is the only lender that offers these things: credit optimization, which means they will work with you to optimize your credit.
I thought it was going to be the Beatles sign. Now that would be so. Well, Chris, this isn't really a sign, is it?
Davy Jones.
It's a print.
You got who the hell wants Lennon when you can have Davy Jones?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Man, I'll tell you. That's what I'm saying. You know, there was another made-up band. What the hell was it? Totally made up. What was it? Cowsills?
No, there's one.
Right, Cowsills.
Partridge Family?
There's
Partridge Family.
No, they had albums.
Yeah, but they
so
were
did
made
the
up.
Brady Bunch.
That's what they made. That's what I meant. I meant they were made
had
up first.
albums,
but they were made up first.
Okay,
they weren't
fair
a band
enough.
that was
Fair enough.
Like the Monkees were made up first, and then they started doing albums.
How about what's the one they did? It's the rock and roll band. What's it called when you get something shot in your back? Spinal Tap.
Oh, that was all fake. Remember that actor that did that on purpose?
Spinal Tap.
Now there's one right now that does a takeoff, and they started really selling. They did glam rock and all of that.
Well, the Beatles had that cartoon first, so they were kind of fake. Then they came around.
What was the?
Yeah, they did. They had a cartoon. The Beatles
first.
Well, maybe
they were a band.
First time I seen them.
I remember. First time I ever heard them was on a cartoon. It was a Saturday morning.
Who watched the very first night on Ed Sullivan, 1964?
I've seen it.
Oh, very
replay.
Beatles.
God Almighty! I
You were there.
remember it was like I was like this.
Really?
I wasn't even.
So here's the trivia. When Elvis was
I'm
on
never
there,
cutting my hair again.
yeah, I was sorry I had curly hair. I wouldn't have straight hair.
Did they have long hair? They just had the bowl.
No, we
Bowl
thought it was
cut.
long hair.
Yeah.
It was like freaking nothing. We thought, oh my God, but it was right here. We thought it was so long. It was so different. Man. It was like,
And then they bust out with Yellow Submarine and everybody runs.
So what did they show when Elvis was on there, Tom?
oh, see, that was a little before I was a kid.
But they didn't show anything below here.
And they were very upset that he was shaky.
Yes.
Yeah. He was shaky.
Yeah, they thought it was. Hey, my keyboard's not. What? Did you do something to this thing? I can't even. Shit, dude. I can't even. Yeah, I can't even. Now here, I can't even get a mail.
It's probably.
I can only use my mouse.
I'm guessing the program is just eating up your memory.
Sessions will meet with state attorneys general later this month to talk about concerns of tech companies possibly hurting competition.
You're here quite a bit, aren't you?
Prohibiting.
In fact, on what did the Doors do that Ed Sullivan said they'd never
to show when I can.
put them on again?
Were you
Oh, you wouldn't?
We're opposite
Because the Yellow Submarine.
The Doors. The Doors.
Which service for calls?
Because
We
they
go
said you
for
can't get
calls
much
in
higher.
Longmont, Boulder, Firestone.
That was a good movie. Did you watch the movie The Doors?
I read the
I
book.
want my guys home, if there's enough business up there.
Nobody gets out of line. That was my book.
Plenty of work.
Nobody gets out of line.
No. This was.
I've got 24
called The
total.
Doors.
I got the chronology on that school thing.
Oh, what is it? Let's read it.
Here, come on.
She was on her cell phone and called this girl to find out when she was going to get paid.
Yes.
She said, I just did it.
Oh,
He said, wait a minute, what do you mean you just did it?
They do
She was standing 10 feet away outside the window.
24 hours, so
I said, what do you mean you just did it? She says, I just wire transferred it to your account. And she said, what account? And she said, your account. She said, just a minute, I'm coming in. So she was literally 10 feet away, walked in.
Bring it up on air.
Yeah, where did you wire transfer to?
Was it her actual email, did she say, or do you know?
Don't know that part of it. I emailed him. So she told him right then, no, you need to reverse this. And he waited 3 days to reverse it until it's too late.
Well, no, I mean, wires, man, are pretty much, they're really hard to reverse. I mean, honestly, think about that. If you closed on a house and someone tried to reverse the money after you signed the deed or something.
I don't know how long it was before.
So other thing on that, did the school give her the email that said where to send the wire transfer? That would be the email to get.
Did you talk to her?
Yeah.
What I'd really like to know, was it from her exact email?
Was the request for the wire transfer?
Yeah, right. So the school should be able to give her that copy.
Here, I found the site too. Hold on. In Aurora, mother of 5 is struggling. However, the school is victim too. Yep, it is right here. It turns out someone hacked into landscaper Brittany Hancock's email account and asked the school, Vega Academy, to wire $6,000 it owed. The school complied, not knowing the money. Hancock has
What
spent
happened?
more than 2
That's an
months.
inside job.
So what happened
To no
now?
one.
He's got the timeline.
She was working 10 feet outside the school from the secretary. Called the secretary on her cell phone and says, well, I was supposed to get paid today. What time do I get paid? And she said, well, we just wire transferred your account. And she said, what do you mean wire transferred my account? So you're supposed to give me a check. What account? She said, just a minute, I'm coming inside. So she came inside, the lady said, I just wire transferred this to your account. And she said, no, that's not me, that's not my account, that's not, no, that's...
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair, and they're giving a special $119 transmission service, and that includes dropping the pan, changing the filter, fluids, adjusting any belts, hoses, or mechanisms that need adjusting, and you get it all for $119. If there's any problems, of course, they'll give you a complete diagnostic, just $119. Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. Hey, this is the Consumer Show where we solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints, and that's why we make recommendations like this. We want you to have the best of the best of the best when it comes to auto service and everything else. Our number is 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have Eric Reinemer with us from Atlas CPAs, and then also visiting a referral list member from Fort Collins for home services, plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Yes, you can rely on a place up there for us and for you, and you go to referrallist.com, you'll find them. They're called Lighten Up Electric and Plumbing. So Mark Machowski over at Budget, he says that 1 hour of free diagnostic comes all the time. So this transmission special is just one of the specials, right? $119. But if you ever drive in there with any problem, they'll take a look at it. Up to 1 hour, full diagnostics without any charge. 303-781-9858 is he's on Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth. 781-9858. So what's going on in your life? We've been having this big discussion on email hacking, and what happens if you're working for someone? It just happens to be it was Aurora, but you're working for someone, you're doing landscaping, and they say, hey, we just wired the money to your account. And she says, what? That's not my account. I didn't ask for this. And they said, well, here it is, an email. Did the email come from her account, Mark, or did it come?
No, it says in the article it was her account, so her email got hacked.
Her account. It came from her account.
She got hacked, and what they did is they most likely monitored what she did, and they finally said, oh, she just sent this invoice out, let's get the jump on it or whatever.
That's crazy. So now they're not going to pay her again.
That's what the school district's saying.
All right. I don't know what you guys would do.
I'm more curious, how do you think it would end up if it went to court? That's what I keep thinking. How does a judge look at this? Because really, who's the bad guy? There's only one bad guy, the scammer.
Yeah, the scammer's the bad guy.
The scammer's the bad guy. And the school's out the money. She's out the money.
She didn't get paid.
So you keep going back to that. She didn't get paid. I don't know. God, it's crazy. In these days, it's just crazy to think about. Because then the school is out their money, though. She didn't get paid, granted, but the school did pay.
Oh, man. Anyway, it just sucks. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We want comments. And Crosby, he wants to talk about the city council. Okay, Crosby, usually when we get a complaint like this, and we've had them before, with officials abusing their power, usually it's when they don't agree with a decision they made. So what's going on with you, man?
So I recently got a traffic violation driving through a small town.
A traffic violation? What kind of traffic violation?
Speeding.
Okay. So you were speeding, and how does this go through? How does this get to the city council? I mean, how do you boil that down? Tell me the story here.
So the officer took my address off my driver's license.
Uh-huh.
And I recently moved after I got the ticket, so they mailed it to my old address, the court date. I never received it. Long story short, I forgot all about it. 8 months later, my birthday comes up, and I get a letter in my current mailing address that says my license is suspended. So
how much were you speeding?
I was going 70 and a 55.
Okay, so you know it's not their fault that they mailed it to the wrong address. It's your fault.
I understand that.
Okay.
They made that clear to me.
No, I'm just talking about officially, that is. So how did they abuse any power? What did they do then?
Well, I went down to the court or the city council, and I asked them, hey, I don't mind paying the fine. I'll pay the ticket. But can you take the collection fee off, or can you take the late fees off of it? Because
just like give you some slack. I understand, because it wasn't intentional.
Correct.
Yeah.
I let them know, hey, I'm a college student.
Right.
Working part-time.
I guess they could do it. I guess they could have voted to do that. I've never heard of anyone going to the city council. I mean, that's pretty aggressive. I mean, not in a bad way. I mean, I never heard that. You literally went before the city council at a meeting?
I went down to, sorry, not the city council, city hall.
Okay, so you went down to the clerk and asked if they could reduce the cost.
Yes.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
I went to city council one time years ago.
Yeah. So anyway, what did they say, Crosby? No, they won't take any money off?
She said it's up to the judge.
Yep. Or you could do a pre-trial conference with the city attorney.
And that's exactly what she told me.
And what happened?
She said, we're going to have to mail it to you, your new date. Okay. And I said, okay. You can mail it to the address where I'm getting mail. She said, well, I'm going to have to get that approved by the judge.
Well, what you'd have to do is, why weren't you getting mail forwarded? The post office will gladly do that.
Because when I moved, it was still a family's house. I just went and lived on campus.
No, I understand, but you can get the mail forwarded from whatever address you want to whatever address.
Okay.
So anyway, what happened? They mailed it to they didn't mail it again to the right address, right?
No, so I went and I asked her, for the judges and the city attorney's name. She said she's not going to give it to me.
No, wait, why did you want to know the judges and city attorney's name?
So I could speak to them. And in other words, go over her head, since she didn't want to give me any information.
You mean on how to do what? On how to change your address?
No, on how to, she said she said she could ask them to drop the charges, additional fees. But when she told me that, she wouldn't give me any information to reach them or contact them.
Yeah, you could have found that out easy enough. The city attorney, I mean, it's public.
So,
I mean, it's like listed.
It is listed. She said only way I can get that information if I had an attorney call her and tell her that.
Well, okay, so listen, for some reason, Crosby, there was a roadblock, but none of this, I don't know where we're going with the story, though. So far, nothing's been done wrong on either part, your part or her part. I mean, so what were you trying to do? You were trying to get a pre-trial conference, right?
Correct.
Well, if you contact the city attorney's office, you could have just gone there directly without her and just asked for a pre-trial conference. The woman you're talking to, who is it? The city clerk or what?
Yeah, the court clerk, yeah.
Okay. So what happened after that?
After that, she said she's not giving me the personal information, so I found it myself.
Good, excellent. And then what?
And then once I got that information, they told me that she mentioned that I was being rude and disruptive in the office.
Yeah.
And that they weren't going to proceed with the trial, and that my only options were.
Where were you? Who said you were rude? Now that's getting away from me. Which one said you were rude? The clerk?
The clerk. She said that.
The one who wouldn't give you the information.
Correct.
When she did not give you the information, you said you found it yourself.
Correct.
So then you went to the city attorney's office, and the clerk called over there and said, hey, this guy who's coming to you, I don't want to proceed, because she doesn't have that power, so I don't understand.
But she did. That's exactly what she said.
So while you were meeting with the city attorney, she had already sent the message over there about you.
Yes, exactly.
Saying what? Don't proceed?
Saying this guy, he's a
troublemaker.
Yeah, he's basically giving me a hard time.
Okay, and then, so what did the city attorney say? Listen, we can't do this. This clerk doesn't like you?
Basically, not those exact.
Right, but what did the city attorney say? Give me as close to his words as possible.
I didn't speak to him directly. I spoke to his secretary.
And what did she say? Hey, listen.
Yeah, she said that the court clerk already called us and notified us about your situation, and she told us you were being rude, and
okay, now I get it.
And she told us, and basically he said my only options were to pay the fine, or sit it out in jail. So.
Well, I doubt you're going to go to jail.
Sounds like he got a little abrupt there, pissed her off, and that was that.
But see, you still had a right to a pretrial conference. I don't know if it's a right, actually. It's not a right, but you still had a court date, though, and at the court date, you could have asked the judge directly about it.
Exactly.
Well, then it's not true that you either had to accept it or go to jail because you had a court date. You could have just gone to the court date. What did you do after she said you can't pursue it? I guess she said you can't go to court. You don't have your day in court. You're going to have to pay up now or go to jail. I guess she had her little hearing right there.
Exactly.
What did you do then?
Well, that's when I basically just got online and started doing research.
Yeah?
To see what my options were.
And your option is to go to court. You didn't forget about the court part, right?
No, except she hasn't mailed me my court date.
Well, they will. But you got to make sure that address is forwarded to you.
What do they say? More bees with honey.
Hey, Tom. Well, who cares? I mean, he just wants to know.
No, but the lady apparently doesn't like him.
Well,
I mean, what do you do?
And Crosby, listen, we're only hearing one side of the story, and of course you're going to say you were totally polite and everything was cool. But here's the bottom line. If you're calling me for help, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. It doesn't matter what they say. The judge will hear you when you go before him. And you can simply say, Your Honor, I did not cause this hang-up on purpose. I had moved from my address. I'm a college student. I will gladly pay this. Could you reduce it, at least the whatchamacallit cost you wanted reduced? That's all I'd say. You get a chance to talk to the judge. No one will take away the right for the hearing. So there is really no issue. You still are waiting your court date. What I would do for sure is make absolutely sure that the mail is going to get to you. That's the thing I would do.
Okay.
I mean, that's the real thing. And then, when you go, here's what's going to happen. On the day of court, you're going to go. What city is this?
This is in Alto, Texas.
Okay. So, I don't know how they work. They could be weird. Who knows? But you're you're going to possibly, now I can see what you're saying. I thought it was local. I can see that happening. If they get a bug up their butt, man, they could all just say, hey, the hell with this guy. If you could just go, though, to the day of the hearing, usually they come out to the waiting room and they ask if you would like to talk to the city attorney. And they do a pretrial conference. But here's the deal. What secretary were you talking to that said you're either going to have to accept it or go to jail? Who was that?
Sound like the court clerk.
Was it no, that was after the court clerk. Was it the city attorney's office?
This was the city attorney's office. I don't remember her name.
Okay. Then you're going to have to go to the date of hearing. But you really have to make sure you get your notice, okay? Or maybe go down there and pick up a notice if you could, a summons to appear. They might issue you one in person if you just ask them. Somehow, this guy, they don't like. And they don't like you. And you know, actually something this stupid could end up with your ass in jail if they don't like you. So try to really watch everything you say, even if it sounds like you're sucking up, because they can be that way. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. You can get a free analysis of your lot with Cam Solar if you want to have solar. Go to this website, gocamsolar.com/troubleshooter. That's a landing page they made for my listeners. If you fill out that information, you get a free analysis of the energy your lot will generate over a 20-year period, and they're prepared to stand behind that. and guarantee it for 20 years, along with parts and labor of any materials. That's the way they work. You get a free analysis, and they will guarantee it. Of course, any guarantee is only as good as a company, and we have reason to believe this is a great, strong company, and no matter what, you're going to save money from day one. No money out of pocket, because they use tax incentives as money down, the credits, and then you make small monthly payments. It's gocamsolar.com/troubleshooter. And if you're looking for a chiropractor, Bright Light Chiropractic is the place. And I can tell you that you can get a full analysis with x-rays for just $50. That's unheard of. And Bright Light Chiropractic is the place if you want to introduce yourself to chiropractic, because they're so gentle. Dr. Mike Hederscheit is gentle, targeted approach for his adjustments, and adjustments just start at $30, depending on how many you buy. Listen, they're at County Line and University. It is worth the trip. BrightonYourFamily.com, 720-583-4506. That's BrightonYourFamily.com.
This report is brought to you by Westera Credit Union. There's a couple of not...
wife's body to protect his children. Wow.
This is in the Colorado.
Wow. I don't know where this was. Is that him? The one in Kansas, man. That one was even crazier. He said that he came home. What do you think? She killed the kids.
Was strangling the kids.
So he killed her and then put her in a thing of oil.
No, the kids went in a drum of oil. She went. Through
that one? People are nuts. That was up north. That was here.
Right out here by Green.
Yeah. That's crazy as shit. People are batshit crazy, man.
Yeah, that was a big story up north.
Who kills their kids?
Mark, if you look, it literally made me sick to my stomach. If you look at these little babies.
Oh, I know. They were cute as hell.
Little baby girls and pictures of daddy. I mean,
he was having an affair.
I don't know what it is, but this guy claimed he killed his kids to protect them. Or no, the wife killed the kids. I'm sorry.
Something. Yeah, but the cops didn't fall for any of that shit. No.
Jesus.
They don't even give it validity.
How do you get that? Like,
insane.
Well, it is insane. He's totally insane. Little baby girl.
I hope he's not insane. Then he'll go to prison.
Well, he'll go regardless. Criminal insanity just simply means.
I mean,
you don't even know you were right.
Trying to cover it up, too.
Killing somebody.
Washington on Thursday. Join me Wednesday at 4.
It is weird, though. I always think of the criminal insanity because if Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't crazy, I don't know who in the world was.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Joe Lazara is a criminal defense attorney I hope you never, ever need. Of course, he does a lot of DUI work, and that's unfortunately one of the most popular things, and it's the easiest thing to avoid with Uber and Lyft and designated drivers. Joe Lazara, find him on my referral list at referralist.com. Joseph A. Lazara. And again, any kind of a crime or traffic violation, 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. Joe Lazara on my referral list at referralist.com. Hey, let's talk. Mike, hold on. Let me just put you on hold, Jake, here. Well, okay, Mike. And we have lines open at 303-713-TALK. You can get right through. 303-713-8255. Now's the time of day where people who've been trying to get in can get right in. And we do have Eric Reinemer from CPA, Atlas CPAs and Advisors. If you have any questions regarding taxes or payroll or anything like that. What's happening, Mike?
Well, sir, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Well, I'm driving to Erie to go to work 5:30 yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Pass a cop. He starts following me. Finally, he pulls me over and comes up and tells me my plates look like I stole the tags.
What does that mean? Come on.
Well, he must have one of those machines that reads the license plate.
Yeah.
Read the plate and said I was 4 months out of date on getting my registration.
Well, first of all, how do they know that? By reading your plate number? Is it on record?
There's a sticker on there.
Yeah, but how do you see that from that far away?
No, he was right behind me.
Okay, gotcha.
On the plate said 519. His system said I was 4 months out of date.
Okay.
That's why he pulled me over.
Okay.
So after 15 minutes of figuring out what the heck was going on, because I'm going, the wife just bought these in, April. motor vehicle seems to be 4 months out of date. If they read your plate and read that, they get to pull you over for having no, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's irritating. Yep.
And it's like, so they call, or I went to the police department in Erie, and they called around and checked and said, oh yeah, motor vehicle's 4 months out of date.
that just routinely, basically. I mean, at any given time, they're 4 months.
Well,
I think the bigger thing is, and they can pull you over at any time for any reason.
That's right. So now is this a conspiracy with the state?
Why you think they're doing it on purpose? For what reason?
Well, that way they get a free pullover. Somebody drives by.
Yeah, but it's not. It's only for those who are 4 months. I don't know. I mean, it's.
But if it's truly the way you're saying, they could pull over anybody.
Anybody.
But can't they pull over anyone anyway?
Yeah. They're supposed to have probable cause.
But,
no, I don't. Wait a minute.
If you're doing nothing wrong and you go by and he says your plate's out and he pull you over.
No, they got to have a reason to pull you over.
You know, you got your gun on the front seat or you're doing something wrong. Now they've got you for something else when they had no reason to pull you over in the first place.
But I need to get this straight in my mind. I know that we've heard of probable cause when it comes to certain things, but is that so when it comes to traffic? Can't they basically make up probable cause? It look like your
Well, they might make it up, but they have to have something.
Yeah.
They have to have. They can't just pull you over because you look suspicious.
No,
that would be terrible.
But if you drive by and your plate says 4 months or 3 or 2,
yeah,
and they can pull you over, and your registration and your tags are on the plate, and they say you're fine, then they've got a free shot at you if you're doing something wrong.
But you didn't get any ticket for anything, right?
No, he was very nice. He figured it all out and said motor vehicle seems to be 4 months behind.
Yeah, but I wonder if. But he actually looked at your tag up close and saw it, right?
Right, because there's little numbers on there.
Yeah, he might have thought, though, this guy
your VIN number, and that's what he told me.
Took the sticker and put it on there.
Stolen a tag off of somebody else's tag.
I get it. Yeah.
This guy sounds a little shady.
Yeah. So,
it
Mike,
a little weird.
What are you doing that early? I mean, what time do you
start?
To work. What time do you start?
I start at 6 in the morning.
And what time do you work to?
Until 2:30.
Do you like those hours?
I love those hours.
Wow.
I get more done before 9 o'clock than most people do all day.
What kind of work is it?
I'm a machinist, prototype guy.
Oh, that's cool. You know, people like you are dying out, man.
Yep.
Do you do CNC, you know, computer stuff?
Yeah, we do everything. I'm semi-retired now. I only work 2 days a week, but...
You know what? You know, the old art, though, of literally making a die, I mean, why does anyone ever need to know that anymore with computers? Can't they just do a die from a photo?
Well, yeah, but if you don't have any knowledge of how to cut metal and how to run the machine, then you're not going to make that part.
Wow, but I'll bet you a lot of new machinists, they're basically computer programmers. I mean, think about it. Where you used to literally you would take a mic and you would take metal and you would make something out of nothing using measurements and literally etching, where you cut and where you do things. Now you put a block of metal on a stand and watch a computer do it or print it. Think about that.
It's crazy.
Anyway, if you have any questions, problems, or complaints, guess what? We have clear lines at 303-713-TALK. Yes,
Eric. What's the biggest difference? We hear this postcard size return. I assume that's real. But what's the biggest difference that will affect the average person on their taxes this year?
No, that's good about the postcard return. I want to know more about that.
Well, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
They took the big 8.5 by 11 and they cut it down to like a big postcard size.
But it's the same information needed.
But there's like 6 subschedules in back of the postcard that most people have to fill out. So they shrunk it down so they can say it's a postcard, but there's like schedules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
But are taxes simpler now or not?
Well, the only thing which got simplified is a lot less people will be itemizing their deductions.
Why?
Because the standard deduction got doubled from 6 to 12K for a single person and from 12 to 24K for a married couple. So about 10 million fewer people will have to bother with charitable contributions and real estate taxes.
Because they get that full amount.
That's right.
So is that per child, you mean?
No, it's the deduction for the household, 12 or 24.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. But
it's automatic.
But here's the other.
But everyone gets, no matter what you make, you get a $12,000 or $24,000 deduction.
That's right.
Right. But what they got rid of was the personal exemption. If you have a wife and 2 kids, you get 4,000 times 4. That all disappeared. Most people don't realize.
So you don't have a deduction per child anymore?
No, that just went away.
No. If you have 4 children, if you have 6 children,
is there a credit still? Is there an earned credit for kids depending on your income?
So in other words, you don't have to. You don't get to deduct your children like you used to.
Right. You do not get to deduct your children or yourself. But to offset that, the child tax credit doubled from $1,000 to $2,000.
Yeah, but what is a child tax credit? That's for low income, right?
No, it's like under 150,000. It's like a high limit, So
you get that credit.
Most people will get a bigger credit, but you lose a $4,000 exemption.
How about the property tax interest and what we've heard, like California and New York? All of a sudden, these people can't afford to live there. Does that affect the average Joe here?
Probably not. If you have a house that's less than 500, you're limited to $10,000 between property tax and state income tax.
Okay, and this deduction for 12 or 24, to get the marriage deduction, you said a couple. They have to be filing jointly, though.
Correct.
Okay, in order to get that one.
And they're not using deductions. They're not itemizing. Right. Or can you still itemize and get that?
No, it's either or.
Yeah, either or. So you wouldn't do it.
But most people don't have $24,000.
No, I would itemize.
You have to itemize.
Yeah. Because it's, of course.
Yeah.
303-713-8255. Okay, we got a lot more to talk about. Eric Reinemer, Atlas CPAs and Advisors. Hey, if you have any questions for him. And then we also have a comment on the Department of Motor Vehicles. And then a problem with a rental, Kate. And Suzanne tells me it's a really good issue. And then a stolen card. We have a mention on that from David, so hang on for that, and we'll get all of you. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. If you're looking for a used vehicle, they have a great selection of not just vehicles, but of financing options. More than 40 lenders to choose from. They're located at 63rd and Federal. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7 right now. That's the summer hours. And you can visit them at any time and go back and still see different stuff because their inventory is constantly changing. And they pay really good trade-in values because they sell most good trades right there. 303-426-4646, Rockies.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 K-House.
He chopped her up after she killed herself to protect the kids. So she killed the kids. No, she killed, this is a different one. She killed herself.
A different guy, a different case?
Different case.
He didn't kill the kid.
Jessica gave birth to a baby in a bathtub, then killed herself, instead of calling police for help. He then dismembered her.
So that line
So logical to me.
Who wouldn't do that?
Is that not normal?
So that line 1 was having a roof done, and the Raptors, whatever the fell, on her renter's vintage car.
Oh, crap. Okay, she's fucked. Why?
I would think that maybe the roofer had insurance.
What happened?
So roof was being done on the house. Stuff fell on her renter's vintage car that was parked there.
How did stuff fall? Was the car in the garage?
The rafters broke or something, or stuff that was being stored above the rafters fell down.
So the roofers are on the roof. They fall through.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it's a no. You missed that part. It's a classic car.
It's a vintage.
Right.
So she called it. So it's her rental.
It's an
So it's her
89 Ford
renter's
LTD.
vehicle.
Besides Ted's car,
Liability
the great car.
Liability comes from negligence. It
That's
doesn't
a
come
great
from
car.
it happening. So what if it happened?
That's not the roofer's fault.
We don't know.
It could be the roofer's fault.
We don't know if it is.
Did he take the
Unless they
If it's a 1930 house, he should have known. That he could fall through the roof.
Did something fall out of the rafters and distort them?
You don't take for granted that you can fall through a fucking roof. Roofs aren't supposed to.
If you're a roofer, you would think you would.
Now, if they drop bundles of shingles on it, they can break the...
Yeah, that part, but that's not necessarily negligence. You can assume that. I mean, you can assume you can walk on a roof. I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, I know.
What is a stolen card? Did we have a comment on a stolen card? I don't remember stolen card. What
We'll find out.
Stolen
card?
Stolen card.
Oh, maybe he's talking about the Uber shit?
Or $40 for a 5-gallon pail on your favorite cabin or Valspar.
Yeah, I don't know what this stolen card is.
On the 23rd through September 5th, only at Lowe's.
There's always two sides to the story.
Well, that's not true. What happens if it's one guy talking to himself, huh?
Tom Martino, you're a troubleshooter. Genesis.
Total exteriors and interiors. If you're looking for home improvements and you hear about people taking the money and running all the time, well, guess what? Don't say I didn't warn you. And if you need somebody great, we have this guy on our referral list for years. 303-679-8509. Genesis Total Exteriors and Interiors. So, let's go right to this one. A comment on the stolen card. You talking about a credit card we were talking about, David?
No, and actually, it was two different issues. But
Go ahead.
First one it was earlier on the stolen cars out by the airport.
Yes, there were 14 of them apparently taken in that area. And
I knew someone that worked at a rental car agency, and they had 3 in a little less or a little over than a month.
Wow.
And then the worst part of it is they had to have a talk with all the employees. Don't try to stop anyone. These are not your cars. We have insurance, because one of the gals made a very poor decision in thinking she could jump in front of them and they would stop. Well, they didn't stop. They ran right over her, and last I heard, I don't know if she made it, but she was in Denver Health for...
Oh, my God, that's terrible. No, that's for sure, but they may not even be responsible for the stolen cars, the people where you park them, unless they took that responsibility or somehow were negligent and contributed. Kate, what's going on with you? Kate?
Hi. Yes, hi.
I guess, so you're a landlord.
Right.
And
So-
go ahead.
So in July there was a pretty big hailstorm, and I had my roofer go out, check it, followed all the insurance protocol and everything. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
I notified the tenant that they were going to be doing his roof, and after they put the shingles on, he called me and said that the things that he had stored in the rafters in the garage had fallen on his classic Mercedes and dented it.
Okay, so tell me a few things here. What did he have stored in the rafters?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably just boxes of crap.
And how did it fall?
He said the pounding on the roof when they put the shingles on
Well,
jarred
that's
it.
okay. Possible. So here's you got to cut through all the mustard. The idea that something happened does not create liability automatically. Okay? If this happened, it doesn't necessarily mean it happened because somebody did something wrong.
And beyond that, I don't know how it would even tie to her. I realize she's a landlord, but really this is between the renter and the roofer.
It wouldn't tie to her at all.
That's right.
Unless she said, by the way, you can store that stuff up in the rafters, and she knew that the rafters were falling apart and rotting, and she had a problem with them previously. You know, it's just so ridiculous. You're right. So now, you have to ask, did the roofer do anything negligent? Not did the roofer pound and cause it to fall. There's nothing wrong with that. He didn't do, unless he did something out of the ordinary, out of the scope of being a roofer, did this roofer do anything wrong?
No.
Okay. Well, that's under the category of stuff happens.
Well, saying that, though, I'll say this. If that was Jay Brett's and his roofer, somehow this turned out to be something, he might step up and do it.
I don't think he would.
You don't think so?
I think Jay would say this. I can't help it if this guy had all this crap up in the rafters.
That's true. That's true.
You know, I mean, I didn't do it, and I can't help that he parked his Mercedes underneath all that crap. I mean, really, unless the roofer did something wrong, that's, you know, this tenant has to tell you. You know, you have to reason with them. What did the roofer do wrong? Or better yet, He can go after the roofer directly. You're not even involved. I mean, he's not looking to you for any help, right?
Well, he is. He's not really looking for me for help. He wants a bad guy so that he can get this piece of junk fixed at somebody else's expense.
Exactly.
Here's my contention. If I hadn't have told him and given him plenty of notice that the roofers were going to be there,
it doesn't matter.
That's one thing. But he didn't pull his Mercedes out of the garage. He left it in the garage.
First of all, I would have kept it in the garage anyway, because that's the safest place in my mind. And Katie, people have false premises, and I always know what they are, or not just false, but I mean what they consider important premises, because they make a point of mentioning it to me. And it could be anything, like, oh, by the way, I wrote them a letter, or by the way, they told me this, or it was dark, or something. And you're saying, I told him. It doesn't matter if you told him if the roof was being done. I mean, it all boils down to, did the roofer do anything wrong? If you told him or not, it doesn't matter. Even if you warned him, the roof is being done, okay? And then the roofer, was shooting with the 22 Ram set through the roof and hit the car. That's negligence. That's stupid. But he wasn't. He was hammering like a normal roofer, I'm assuming. So you have to get away from defending yourself on, well, I warned you. Because then he's going to get into, well, you didn't warn me it was going to do this, and you didn't tell me to do this, and you didn't tell me to take the car out of the garage. Because there's no reason to warn someone to take a car out of the garage. First of all, had he not stored stuff up there, it wouldn't have fallen. Okay, so now ask him, why did you store stuff up there?
Or ask him, why didn't you have your car insured?
Okay, got it.
There's all kinds of stuff. I would make it very simple. You know,
you know what he's going to do. He's going to try to hold it out of rent or something, it sounds like.
Yeah, just evict his ass. You can rent that place so easy. You can rent anywhere easy. Is this Batwell? Is that your name, Batwell?
Batwell.
Batwell.
Yes, you got it, Tom.
Hey, Batwell, what's going on?
Hi. I'd like to know your recommendations on windows for new construction.
For new construction? That's real. You know what?
Track house, custom house, what is it?
And how much? Yeah, is it your dream house?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
I'd say triple pane K&H.
Now, here's what I did. When I built my new home in Franktown years and years ago, people said, why are you getting vinyl replacement windows when it's a brand new home? And I said, for the very reason people get vinyl replacement windows to begin with when they're replacing their old windows. I don't want maintenance. You know, everyone's telling me go with this or go with this clad and go with this wood. Now, I would do this if it was me. I would go for a vinyl, or I would go with a composite window for lack of maintenance and energy efficiency. So I would go either with the best K&H window. This is what I would do. And I would get the colors, the interior wood colors if I wanted them, but I liked white. I wrapped mine and made them all white, and I loved them. They make off-whites, they make different colors, interior and exterior. So you'd really have to make the decision for yourself. You can also go with the best Champion, but here's the deal. You're not going to go wrong with either of them. You could also call one of our other contractors who have beautiful windows, but you have to make sure that the company, the window company and the contractor are both strong. And I'll tell you why. I went with K&H and had windows done, and that window company went out of business, but K&H still backed them. I also had K&H with windows that are still around. It doesn't, if you have a good company, it doesn't matter what window they're carrying, they're still going to service and repair and take care of warranty work. The same with Champion. Champion builds their own windows, so you don't have that problem. But I think that I would just look at the windows and pick the best one. Now, if you're looking for something that a designer is going to tell you, then they're going to tell you get wood windows and get, aluminum clad on the outside, but get wood on the inside. And I personally don't want the maintenance. I one time had someone come to a home that I had years ago, and I asked them about my windows. I said, I need to do something about my windows. And I remember him giving me a bid, and it was like 30-something thousand, and said, oh, Oh, no, I don't want new windows. I just wanted to have them painted. He said, that's what it is. He said, I mean, this guy was talking about inside the house, because he had to mask everything, he had to sand everything, they had to stain, and then they had to seal, and then on the outside they had to do the same thing, but, the outside stuff, that I was looking at, I think it truly was around 25 or 30 grand for the maintenance, and this had nothing to do with the windows themselves. And I said, my God, I'll never do that again, and that is why I bought vinyl windows for my brand new home. And that's what I would do. Now, what price range is this house?
It's probably in the 500, 4 to 500.
Okay, that's good. Now, I'm going to say something else which sounds it sounds contradictory, and here's what it is. If you're building $1 million plus house, you're going to get into a range when you're selling a house like that, where if you did vinyl replacement windows, because of the practicality, the efficiency, they look beautiful, they're wonderful, and they perform, you could still be penalized because someone else is ill-informed. And there comes a time sometimes that you do things counterintuitive because of the marketplace. I know it sounds weird, but in other words, I would want this for me because I know it's a lack of maintenance. I know it'll last forever. I know it's better. It's more energy efficient. But then when you're trying to sell this multi-million-dollar house or this house over $1 million, somebody might say, oh, I wanted this kind of window or that kind of window. And they are told this is what you need. And they're going to be saying, what? You have vinyl windows in this mansion? So I don't want you to take my advice and to your detriment. I want you to understand that you're dealing with two things. You're dealing with a practicality issue, and then you're dealing with the marketplace issue, and sometimes they're not aligned, because the marketplace might want something that's not necessarily the right thing. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So I think we've covered so much stuff. It's amazing. Now, this DMV, did we take Andre? Andre, DMV information. Are you talking about why they're out of date when the cops scan your tag and it's not in the system?
Yes, Tom. I hope you can hear me. I'm in a bad location right now. But yes, it's the information they had for relicensing vehicles.
Yes.
And returning driver's license reinstatement.
Yes. What about it?
Well, your friend Joe Lazara went to bat for me one day down at the DMV and I finally got everything straight there. But I had to go back 3 different times. They failed to send me the correct court date. I couldn't talk to anyone. They said it had to be electronic or whatever, through the computer. I just retired. I don't have my personal computer yet. And the other one was a false licensing of the vehicle that was abandoned on a street up in Jefferson County.
So what's the moral of the story? You're summing it up. What are you saying?
Their new computer system, from what I was told,
is screwed up.
It's screwed up, Tom.
Okay. That's verification that it's screwed up. And it can cause you a problem in, with them thinking your tag is out of date when it actually isn't. But thank you for that verification. More coming right up.
The DMV just had a new computer system. They shut down at the beginning of the month for like 4 days.
Oh, maybe they're just playing catch up, moving shit from one to the
other. But they just had a whole new system. Where's my picture? You didn't want it? I was going to do the monkeys. I love the monkeys. I'm going to put it up down there.
Everybody loves the monkeys.
Hey, with the monkeys.
Did you know they outsold the Beatles in 1967? It's true. They outsold.
So much good Beatles stuff out there. So many good monkey stuff.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't lack of Beatles stuff. It was the good monkey stuff. TV show did us so well. Hey, never forget that. The other thing.
They don't care about leaving shit behind. Why do people? A Fortune 500 company. The possibility.
people on the weekend?
So, Mark, you watched the Beatles cartoons on a Saturday morning?
I do remember the Beatles.
I remember that.
Those were good. I remember those.
Good, I wouldn't say.
In 1967, the year of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, between the buttons and their satanic, majestic requests, the Monkees outsold both the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. What do you say to that? Huh? Huh?
A satanic lyric.
It's true.
That was the Stones.
It's very true. Let me see if they talk numbers.
If you play it backwards.
Hi, Gary Paul.
Davy Jones didn't know who the Beatles were the night of their shared Ed Sullivan Show performance. I didn't know that. They were on the same night.
I'm Tom Martino. Eric Reinemer, Atlas CPAs and Advisors, 303-7999-111. Eric, what's the top tax rate? That is one email question. You said they have all been cut. What is the top that you can be?
I believe they dropped it to 35%, but I'll look it up while I'm...
No, that's okay. Yeah, around 35. And what's the deal right now on HSAs? Since they didn't make it, is it still with the insurance? You can't be penalized, right? Is that right? There's no more tax penalty
for HSAs?
No, not for HSAs. For health insurance. In other words, remember they dropped the mandatory. Did they? You're not fined anymore. Does anyone know?
Last year, actually, for 2018, you can be fined.
This year, not next year.
That's correct. 2019, there is no fine. 2018, you still can be fined.
I've got a question.
And then in 2020 or thereafter, when a Democrat is president, there will be they'll reinstitute the fine.
Anything goes. Anything goes.
If on retained earnings
let that go.
For a C corp, it's down to 20%, right? If I had a C corp, the maximum tax I pay right now is 20%.
21%.
21%. So should people change to a C corp now? Does it make any sense under any circumstances?
Okay, what he's saying is retain your earnings, but then when you take them out again, Eric,
you're double taxed. You still pay tax twice. And the top rate is dropped to 37, from 39 to 37. For most people, it doesn't make sense to go to a C corp because you're still double taxed. First at the 21%, and second when you take the money out.
Unless you can find creative ways to take it. But then now you're getting into crazy stuff.
Esoteric. Yeah.
We get that. Okay. 303-713.
Free talk. Okay, Julian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom. I'm just going to get advice of I'm replacing a roof on my home, and it's the first time I'm doing it, so I'm trying to get the correct part, I guess.
Okay, now, you're replacing the roof for what reason? Is it a hailstorm or some kind of storm?
Yeah, it was, I believe it was back in July.
Okay. Have you already been adjusted? Has all that been done?
Yeah, it's been done, and they said they sent me a partial check by mail already. So
right, and then you get the rest. Then you get the replacement cost when it's done.
Okay.
Is that right? Is that what they said?
Yeah.
What's your deductible, Julian?
I believe it was $1,000.
And where are you? By the way, that's a very low deductible nowadays for the expense. Where are you located?
In Aurora.
Okay. Well, my advice is referrallist.com. And off the top of my head, of course, I say Excel Roofing is a great company. I would say you don't. First of all, I would not use them if they're not on the referral list. That's the very first rule. The second rule is, I personally, I'm not saying that they all have to do this, I don't want to pay any money down at all with a roofer. I don't mind paying partially when the materials are delivered and the work begins, or progressively as work does. Mark prefers to pay everything at the end when it's completely done.
Damn right.
Yeah, and that's what Excel does. But again, I don't want to make it sound like...
Would you prepay for your meal?
No, but But when they deliver it and serve it, I would pay part of it, and then before dessert, I pay another part, and then at the end, just kidding. So anyway, Julian, really, there's nothing really to worry about. You want to make sure, of course, that you get true replacement for at least the similar or better quality.
Okay.
You know, that's really important. And you also want to make sure that you don't get a slam bam thank you guy for the roof, because you want someone who, if they see auxiliary problems or more problems, they'll put in auxiliary claims, like the decking or something like that. Some roofers, they're so afraid of not getting paid, or they want to get it done quickly. for the insurance company, and they want to keep in good with the insurance company. They don't like putting in auxiliary claims. You want someone who truly wants to your best interest. That's why if you do get a bid, I would not show them the adjuster's report. I would say exactly what do I need and how much should it cost before you show them the insurance, so if they have to argue with the insurance on your behalf, they will.
I got to bring something up real quick. This is amazing. Davy Jones didn't know, I'm being serious here. Davy Jones didn't know who the Beatles were the night of their shared Ed Sullivan Show performance. Did you know Davy Jones was there during that thing with the Beatles? He happened to be there that day because he was on Broadway doing a play before the Monkees.
Well, Davy Jones was in show business, so was Mickey Dolenz.
It just goes to prove, though, that he shaped the way the Beatles became.
Oh, my God.
Jeez, Tom, he'll never let it go.
But you know, Suzanne, I don't have to say anything because people listening say, what a musical moron. I mean, I don't have to argue.
Well, happy birthday anyway, Tom.
So, David, what's going on?
Yeah, I just had one more quick comment. That email scam is also occurring in the real estate field, just to let people know.
Oh, I read that. It's huge.
Pretended to be a realtor, and they sent something out saying congratulations. So you just wire the money and the whatever.
You wire your down payment,
and poof, $13,000. So
holy crap!
So just to let people know, be aware. Okay,
I didn't realize. Thank you, man. That's a good one. Thank you, Gilbert. What's going on, Gilbert?
Hey, University Plaza Apartments in Greeley.
Yes. What about it?
They're a senior living community. There's a lot of disabled people that live there.
Yes.
Number one, there is not one disabled parking spot in the whole place.
How did they get away with that?
I don't know. It's under chapter rules. I don't know how they do that.
Well, I don't know how they... I mean, that sounds weird. It sounds like an oversight or something. What else is going on there?
And the other thing, the manager, when people are going to visit, if their apartment number is not hooked up with the phones or whatever, or a person forgets their phones, they're charging them $2 to open the door, the visitors. And they don't have that posted anywhere.
To open what?
The front door, because it's a secure building. So you have to go in and you push the manager's number and tell them I want to visit this person, and they come back and tell you it's $2 to open the door.
That is so weird.
It sounds
Do
crazy.
me a favor. Hold on. Get his information. Let's have Daphne work on this. Really, she'll hound him to death.
There's got to be something going on.
We got to find out. This sounds too weird. That just sounds too strange that they're nitpicking like that, and they're an elderly complex. So let's talk to Ty Chadwick. Lighten Up Electric and Plumbing. They're on a referral list at referralist.com, and they're up north in the Fort Collins area. You got a special, $39, right?
$39 to get your drains cleaned.
Now that's pretty cool. Any kind of hidden charge in there?
No hidden charge, no trip charge.
It's $39, period.
$39, and we'll actually do a free camera inspection to make sure everything is good to go.
Whoa, come on, man.
Trying to get our name out there.
You're
Tom
losing,
Martino special.
Well, you're losing money on that one. I like it. No, seriously. I'm going to give the number right now. It's 30. Are you going to limit to 20 people or anything, or what?
Well, we'll do it actually till the end of the week.
Oh.
So we want to get our name out there. We appreciate being on the Tom Martino Network.
Okay, man. Referralist.com, and you can go to them directly. I'm going to give you the number. Remember, if you're up north, I don't know how far.
What's the service areas again?
Firestone, Frederick, north to the border.
Okay, so Highway 52 north.
52 north.
Highway 52 north to the border. Lighten Up Electric and Plumbing. Okay, here's the number. It's $39 to get your drain cleared, and they'll even throw in a camera. So that's 970-673-4441. You can't beat this one, folks. 970-673-4441. They go to Longmont and Boulder and up north. 970-673-4441. That's $39 for sewer clean and a camera inspection. That's lightenupelectricalservices.com for all home services.
Retirement questions?
$39. Nobody. Did you go to Franktown?
I got a plumber with me, though.
Yeah, we did a lot of. We didn't get calls about electrical and plumbing like we usually do. Like, yeah, that was kind of unusual.
Well, the electric's what I know. The HVAC, I don't know very much.
I know, but usually
That's what you quiz me on.
Yeah, usually we would get those.
My excavator is an electrician.
Oh, yeah?
He was so done being an electrician. He's kept his license, but now he loves moving dirt. He went out, bought a bunch of bobcats and heavy moving shit, and he loves it. Hates